Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, everybody, take a knee, gather around. It is the Morning Huddle. He's RJ Ochoa. He manages the editing of Blogging the Boys. We'll use that expertise today. We're going to look at the drafting possibilities of quarterbacks, CeeDee Lamb's personality flaws, and is Micah really a problem? But welcome to the show. Good morning, RJ. How are you this fine Wednesday morning?
Happy, hello, bonjour, aloha, ¿cómo estás? Konnichiwa.
I hope as everybody arises this morning, they find everything in its place. Last night's storm that blew through at least my part of the world was pretty intense. We lost some power. I have a feeling I'm going to have some things in the pool. Normally it's a lawn chair that's in the perfect place for the wind tunnel that is up by the property. And I'll be fishing something out. It was a storm last night, RJ. Edwin, did you hear the storm?
I heard it, but I didn't lose power.
I did. But my area always does. We got some good news in my neighborhood. We're switching from the grid that as soon as anything went bad, went off. I think we lost power first and we're the last ones on, to the grid with the fire station. It's going on right now. The neighbor's quite excited. You got to figure they're going to keep the power to the fire station. It's a big deal in my neighborhood, man. We don't have much going on.
Well, I'm happy for you, I suppose.
Are you prepared for the par 3 today at the Masters? It's going to be a fine day.
I am excited. I am stoked. This is the last kind of warm-up day that you get, because tomorrow the real deal is here. Today's, the par 3 is important. Don't get me wrong, but today's the last day to finalize your menu, finalize your picks. Whatever you're gonna do, however you're gonna do it, you better have it ready.
Are you referring to a text that I got? Was that kind of a deadline? Are you already one of those pushy?
You got a text,
commissioners?
Yeah, I know that you got a text, and I
don't want to let out a deadline because there's certain, I know it's part of a special club.
It says it in the text that there's a deadline, so reading is a skill.
I figured I had today because who cares about the par 3?
I'm just saying, it's in the text that there's a deadline.
There's a text.
You want to open the Ojos? That would be kind of cool. That's all I'm saying.
Notice the
frames.
Yeah. What do you think? Try them out.
I think they're stylish. These are these are kind of hipster glasses, Rob. The clear frames. Mm-hmm. You look like I can't wait for in the 9 o'clock hour when you give us your pitch for the latest trend at Silicon Valley, because I'm
a disruptor.
Yeah.
I was just listening to this TED talk. And before we talk, I want to manifest the knowledge that I'm going to offer you, and I'm going to hope that you receive the bounty of my manifestations.
What was it?
Living positively, RJ.
What was the role in Vegas that we were pitched on?
Oh, the series of catchphrases. The synergistic effect we will re-energize and bring you power. I forget what the title was.
God, the title is escaping me.
A transitional specialist that handles all transitions and special things transitional.
I'm the transitional strategist, and I know you're wondering what that means. And what that means is I oversee the strategy of our transitions. There is synergy involved. There are ergonomics. There are platonics. There are all of the hooked on phonics. And I will oversee the transition of those respective strategies.
Well, I've learned a lot about you. I'm going to reverse into the hedges. The evening, first of all, there's so much to get into today. The Spurs winning last night.
Hey,
what month is it? Because it certainly felt like June.
Today's April the 10th.
Well, it felt like late June, early July. It felt like summer league.
I wouldn't go that far.
Are you kidding? Did you see who Memphis rolled out last night? Did you see that team? Holy snots! They have 11 dudes on the IR or injured. That was as bad of an NBA team as I have ever seen take the court, and I've seen some stinkers.
I'm happy that they did because
Yes.
it worked out to our benefit.
And
you are not putting us in the record books, Rob.
No.
Take us out. We're not going in for that one. I hope people went honking last night. I hope people, went to Academy to get their gear.
Not the worst.
If you thought that this team was going to win 19 or fewer games, you are wrong and stupid. All right, we have hit 20. Back off. Give us our props.
Baby.
Now, I went into the game last night hoping to try to prove this theory that I have, and last night meant nothing. So I'm not even going to talk about, hey, they play better without him. Shoot, it was like watching open gym last night. They still did look good, Pumba. We're going to talk a lot about what the Spurs did or did not do. Hey, we're all women's college basketball fans. The numbers prove it. They outdrew the men this year, and I think it's awesome. Now, we'll see if that's a ongoing trend. I doubt it, but it certainly does reflect a change in things. And as we saw the numbers released yesterday, not a surprise. I mean, it was a good tournament for the men. There's no shame in what they offered, but they're just more compelling characters playing for longer. But with the women, I mean, this was, and now they get equal billing. And when there's more compelling things, we go there. No shame in what was offered.
First of all, I think that Danny Hurley, who is the king of using anything as a slight, will use this next year, and will have it serve as fuel and motivation for the Huskies.
If he wants to eat dinner at home, he won't.
But this was very cool to see. I mean, what a unprecedented reality. It does make me think, and I imagine a lot of people think, that the WNBA's ratings with this influx of this class, will be immense and will be considerable. I mean, are we talking about outdrawing an NBA game, like going apples to apples here? Obviously, the NBA is one of the most popular leagues in the world, but there has undeniably been a reckoning and a change and a shuffle, a change at the guard in a lot of ways. And so that's really, really exciting. I mean, we are literally in the middle of history happening, which is not something you can always recognize happening around you.
Completely agree. And worthy of recognition specifically, and wonder if Caitlin can carry that forward. By the way, have you noticed a lot of the NBA guys are wearing the Ionescu's, the Sabrina ones, which are they're kind of cool.
You're gonna get a pair?
I'm at an age where if I put on basketball shoes, I better be coaching.
If it came down to those or the Wemby's, which ones you get?
The Sabrinas, man.
You don't like Wemby's logo. You were on record about this.
It's not the Wemby logo at all. I think the logo is cool. And I like the nickname. I was just concerned that he is, for the rest of his life, he's now going to be known as an alien.
I forgot about Derrick Rose's logo. I saw this thing yesterday that was all these, whatever. I thought the same thing that I thought when I first saw it. The spirit of that idea was really cool. But it didn't hit.
Well, the sad thing is, his contract was signed with Adidas right as he blew his knee, and they have been good to him. He's had shoes all these years and really never was after that MVP season the same. So,
I'm just saying, you would think that something involving a rose would be cool. But
it is cool. It's a good logo.
It's not that cool.
It's also a bit dated. It was more of a reflection of the time. You could kind of feel the Inglewood kind of thing.
Wow.
Wow. But the Sabrinas, man, they're pretty smooth.
That's true.
They are. We're going to look at the NBA today as the playoffs wind up. Giannis is limping, and we're going to have Dr. Jason Garrett explain what's the muscle the psoriasis muscle? What is it?
Not the psoriasis. Giannis has a left.
Morning, Ms. Becky.
Soleus strain.
The soleus.
Yeah, it's spelled like the sole of your foot, but with an us at the end. So soleus would seemingly be, maybe there's a soleus that is involved in the shoe design. Maybe they measure your soleus or something like that when they're tailoring a shoe to you. I don't know.
When I'm thinking
I'm
a
not a doctor.
soleus, I like to marinate the soleus in a Worcestershire based with a little bit
I
of brown
thought the-
sugar to
That's
kind of break
interesting
down the
because
collagen of the soleus, and then
I
you throw
thought
it on
the
the grill.
soleus was the eclipse that we just had.
No,
So,
that's a luneus eclipse.
oh, okay. Well, that explains that then. So,
Hey,
it's so
by the
nice not
way,
having anything eclipse
if
in my
you
life
go to your
yesterday.
Facebook marketplace, I have a gross of glasses for sale. I understand you can
Talking
donate
about
them to the
eclipse ones
poor
or your,
to the poor African and third world kids who need
are you talking about the
above
eclipse glasses
and
or
beyond anything else eclipse
your-
glasses.
your transitional strategist frames? Which ones are you selling?
they're the same thing.
Okay.
Because they helped us in the pipeline of the transition from the luneus to the soleus, and then we had a serendipitous meeting, and we had to discuss such matters. So if you like some glasses, I have them for sale cheap.
Wow.
Willing to meet you at any police parking lot at any moment.
If you had to do anything, and I'm being serious, like you had to seriously do something with those glasses on,
You could
what would it be?
weld if you put like 3 of them on. I think you could safely weld.
I don't think you could.
Oh,
I think you
I'd
could.
give it a shot. And I'm
think-
not endorsed by any medical society or anybody
You
of
missed the
learned.
low-hanging fruit. I would use them like on a beach trip. I'm going to the beach. Here are my glasses.
Have you
Boom.
tried to look through those things that other than anything the sun? Because you can't see anything unless you're looking at the sun. They're
know,
awfully
I did.
thick.
I'd wear them while like laying out.
You know what I
I'm saying?
do? I got enough. I could take the individual lenses
Okay.
and like tint my car.
Oh, I was gonna offer like tinting your windows or something.
Yeah,
like that,
you
in
could
the
like
house, but
individual stickies.
someone walks up, just sees the frames on the ground with like hold out in the eyes. Hey, Rob, what you?
I feel a
doing?
YouTube video coming.
It's more like a tutorial.
I feel like a
So-
tutorial.
Wow.
I'll be on a reel. What are you doing with your glasses?
Well,
I could do it for on an old car, and I could just document my way through it, and then
Right.
stop the reel right before you see the finished product, and have no idea where to find the actual reel that showed what actually happened, other than the speedy
Wow.
motion of things getting done. Just
You
many of the
love
problems of
technology.
the old guy trying to adapt to the new world. I'm under very strict orders to stay on the time today, RJ.
yeah. Well,
So
that
some of
means-
me, the rebel that I am, goes, let's just keep talking.
I mean, technically, right now you have just a little bit, so you could keep talking.
I
but
got
if you
like
want to
2
blow
minutes.
past.
But
Yeah, well,
and
actually,
I
we'll
got a
see.
minute now. I'm down. I'm running out of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no! Should I keep talking about not having enough time, or actually see? I lost time there too. Coming around the bend, let's talk some of my Dallas Cowboys. They might be looking for a QB.
I'm not going to be here. I'm you can just by
The
yourself. I don't have
rumors
that
of Dak's demise might be greatly exaggerated, or are they? Are the Cowboys in the market? Let's talk about the rumors that are floating. Hey, Mama Football joined the Blitz too, and she talked about the Micah situation that we talked about yesterday. Let's look at the Cowboys very closely, because there ain't nothing else to do. We'll be right back talking NFL. He's RJ, I'm Rob. We call this the Morning Huddle. Make sure you go watch us live on our YouTube feed. We'll be right back. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Well, my friends, this Wednesday, you've reached the hump day part of the week, and it's time to start looking forward to the weekend. And if you're doing everything correctly, you'll be standing open at a fiery grill, putting some fine meat there. And before you do that, you got to head to the place that's got it. That's Tri-County Meat Market. 2 locations waiting on you. One of the great things about Tri-County, I say it every week, I walk in there normally Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, without any kind of agenda. I have some thoughts, but I don't know what I want until I see it. And before I know it, I'm walking out with exactly what I need. And I also have a bag full of 5 items that is going to feed a couple of, my family at least twice. And I use the 10% off as a first responder. Well, I don't. I've seen it used. It's there all the time. Huebner and Fair Oaks, they're both locations waiting on you. While you're there, I want you to think about something. They've got some frozen boxes curated, some boxes of meat that you can go ahead and buy ahead of time. You know, those wildfires up north in North Texas, They affected the beef industry a bit. I do expect we're going to see a bounce in meat prices coming up, and Tri-County wants to take care of you. They already got great deals on great meat, but if you want to put it in a box, put it in a freezer, and have it ready for you all the time, talk to them about the different boxes they have put together. I'm planning to go and get one. It'll be one of those things you always got it in the freezer, pull out a couple of steaks, and you want to make sure they're from Tri-County. Hey, head over there today. If you haven't been, you owe yourself a trip. The Blitz is going to be out there on Mother's Day. I cannot wait for the annual event. And it again will signify why we go. Tri-County Meat Market. Go put some good meat on the grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1.
Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Available only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. You know, if you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ball forward, take your base. The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands. Goodbye, home run. Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited ultimate and all the storage you need. Get the network you want on the iPhone you love, only on Verizon.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details. Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's time to replace. And right now you can get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. Plus, with our spring savings event, you can buy one window or door and get one 40% off when you buy 4 or more units. Just text PROJECT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no monthly payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Text PROJECT to 200-300 to buy one window or door and get one 40% off. And right now, save an extra $30 off every unit. Hurry, this incredible offer is only in April. Text PROJECT to 200-300. Text the word PROJECT to 200-300. PROJECT to 200-300.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, your joint pain keeping you from doing what you love, then you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics using your own body's power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinko. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call now to learn more about some exciting options in this revolutionary approach to get you long-term relief with no downtime. So what are you waiting for? Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Attention landowners. Got big plans for your land? Tackle all your spring projects with a powerful John Deere machine. And now with 0% APR for 72 months on select compact tractors, riding lawnmowers, and Gator utility vehicles, plus up to $2,000 off select compact tractors. It's never been easier to get in the seat. Offer available April 1st through 30th. Visit johndeere.com to find your local dealer. For complete finance details, please call toll-free 1-800-226-8903.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or hiring someone to move your piano instead of doing it yourself. So, do things the better way. Bundle home and auto and save up to 25% with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Forgive me, I've got tears in my eyes. Every time, this is the Morning Huddle, that's RJ, I'm Rob. I see the replay of Andre Drummond going up and taking out his own player on a personal alley-oop that he thought was his. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It is Shaqtin' the Fool. Perfect. I just saw it again.
I'm happy that you're happy.
Well, it's a weird time in the NBA because they took Monday off. So everybody, because they took Monday off, the whole league, so there's a lot of back-to-backs going on. So it's just they got weird lineups because everybody's trying to rest their good guys. They don't want anybody too tired to go through the week. And so last night was a weird night of basketball. You just flying through. We had one game, the Celtics and Bucks. There were only 2 free throws taken in the entire game. The Celtics didn't take a free throw in the game. And then you had this going on. If you happen to stumble into the Spurs Memphis Grizzlies G League game from 2023, you might have seen that. Just a weird night across the league. We'll continue talking that. The Dallas Cowboys, on the other hand, maintained their weirdness. Things kind of remain the same there with an added twist. And I don't think this is that surprising. And in fact, I think every NFL team should always be on the hunt for a quarterback. I don't care who you got. So the fact that the Cowboys might be looking at a quarterback shouldn't be controversial at all. I'd like to think every team is looking at one, and if one happens to be available, whether you got one or not, you take it. But this seems to be noteworthy for Cowboy fans.
We talked about this recently, and I sort of wrote about the subject at blockontheboys.com last week. You should absolutely always be drafting quarterbacks. I mean, look at the way the New England Patriots handle things throughout the Tom Brady era. Mm-hmm. Not that anybody is Tom Brady, obviously, but Matt Castle, Jimmy Garoppolo, late, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, they were spending. Jacoby Brissett was a 3rd-round pick. I mean, that's a day 2 pick that you're, kind of burning when you have the greatest of all time. And I would reckon that the Chiefs will probably fall into that, boat soon enough. I remember when they brought in Shane Buechele and everybody freaked out. Quarterbacks are the most valuable commodities in the NFL. Nothing is more valuable than a quarterback, as evidenced by all the contracts that we see every year. And when yours goes down, you better be prepared, which is one reason to continually invest in quarterbacks. But the other thing is when somebody else needs something and you have a surplus of that something, you can flip it. You can trade it. I mean, the Cowboys traded for a quarterback last year despite being set at the position. And that's part of the frustration that I think a lot of people feel. But I hate to say that this is an exception to that rule, but if you're serious about Dak Prescott, you have created too many needs to be able to draft a quarterback. But if you're not serious about Dak Prescott, then you sure as hell better draft a quarterback. I disagree with that notion. I think I'm well on record for that. But if you are committed to moving on from Dak Prescott in 2025, you have to draft a quarterback, and you have to probably spend a legitimate resource on the position.
What is the third rounder up?
Yeah, I mean, a day 2 pick. I mean,
but what if a good one falls to you, one that you kind of eyeball and think, what if they took one in the first? There's a lot of them out there. And what if you had one graded as a top 10 in your eye and he falls to 18?
I think, or
19, wherever we're drafting.
24.
24.
That would still cost a little bit too much to go up. Okay. 18, 19. But I mean,
no, I'm just saying wherever they're drafted. I'm sorry, I had the draft order out of the way. But one falls like a CeeDee Lamb situation. You go, well, I was thinking I might be looking anyway. And I'm not committed by their action. They're not committed to Dak.
That would be annoying if they did that. And I would not be opposed to that again, if they're committed to move, if that's your MO. But however, they have too many holes. They have too many needs. They have painted themselves in and that's what was frustrating about free agency. If you wanted to live in a world where, I mean, if we want to be like ridiculously hypothetical, whoever you think is the fourth quarterback, whether it's JJ McCarthy or Jaden Daniels, if they somehow fell, and were on the board for you at 24, then yeah, maybe you have that conversation. But you have too many issues. You have an issue potentially at tackle or a guard at center, at linebacker, sneakily at edge rusher, sneakily at wide receiver. You have too many needs to spend that luxury of a pick. And the other thing here is, look, this isn't even a pro Dak take, but Dak is at the very least going to be on the books for this season and next,
right?
Even if the team moves on for him, and he's on the books next year at an exorbitant amount. Okay, so let's say they don't draft. Let's say they take a quarterback, Rob, but not in the first round.
Right.
All right, so second round or beyond, whatever. Pick whichever one you want. That contract is 4 years long for that would-be quarterback.
Right.
So now you're so the whole value of a rookie quarterback is the rookie quarterback contract because you can build around them. Even though the Cowboys did,
the Packers did it with Jordan Love, so I know where you're going. But go ahead.
But okay, they are the exception. I mean, for the most part, the reason you want a quarterback on a rookie contract is so you can surround them with talent because of the cheapness of the contract. Even though the Cowboys did not do that with Dak Prescott himself. So while I understand the advocacy or the advocating for a quarterback, given the situation, half of their rookie contract would take place with Dak Prescott on the books for massive money.
And you're growing him on the bench.
But you're not even reaping the primary benefit of a rookie quarterback.
But I can still prep like the Packers did. You can do it if you know you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
I'm not saying that they can do it.
Operate like the actual exception?
But
right. So
you're
that's
right.
what I'm saying. Like,
but okay,
if you're trying to establish high floors and maximize your room for error, this is not the way to do that. I mean, this is not a team that we've seen have an ability to manage the financial elements of running an NFL team.
At some point, you got to give them a shot. Like at some point, they're going to have to do it if they're going to do it, and then deal with the ramifications of previous mistakes. But at some point, you got to rip the Band-Aid off and say, all right, I'm going to suffer. I handled that, whether it's the Dak situation or whatever situation it might be. You can't, it's the sunk cost fallacy that you're so fond of. At some point, you got to just go, well, I got to get out of this.
But that's where their indecision and inactivity to this point has set them up poorly. They have closed would-be escape hatches, to your point.
Right.
I mean, and that's
okay.
Look, I think Dak is very talented. But if you had made this decision, if you had told yourself we're going to move on from him in 2025, then what are you doing here in 2024? You should have gone to him and said, look, we love you, whatever. Let's work out a deal. Let's get you somewhere that you want to be. Let's get us some restitution for your services, and we'll move on. We'll fast forward to that. We're not going to live this year out, for no reason, no whatever, because we're not going to get anything when you leave in free agency next year. So they didn't do that. So now they're stuck with him for this year at the very least. And again, because of the way they've handled his contract, they're stuck with him on the books at a massive figure next year, whether he's on the team or not. This is among the most ineffective ways to go about this process.
What about Trey Lance? We're talking about drafting. They kind of traded for a dude that was as high a pick as they could have dreamed for. Is he just not a non-entity now?
I mean, he's a fourth-year player who we really have no idea who he is in the NFL. And he was a highly touted prospect 3 years ago. But when he was a highly touted prospect, nobody knew who Micah Parsons was. I mean, think about that. Nobody had ever seen Trevor Lawrence in the NFL. And, conference alignment in college football was still a real thing. That's how long ago it was that Trey Lance was a highly touted
but
prospect.
That doesn't mean he's not.
But the reality of the Trey Lance situation is he's entering a contract year. And so, you're going to play this season out with Dak, so you're not going to get to see Trey Lance at all and to understand who he is in kind of real life NFL action. And then, yeah, okay, cool. People say like, oh, just let Dak walk, just re-sign Trey Lance. Okay, so now you want to let's fast forward to that point next year. Dak is gone playing for whoever. You're sitting down at the negotiating table with Trey Lance. You say, hey, Trey, how about you sign this super cheap deal for us because we're the Cowboys and that's how we roll. Trey Lance says, no, I'm your only option. I mean, I'm going to be compensated appropriately because I have all the leverage. They're going to go from one quarterback having all the leverage against them in contract negotiations to the other.
Trey Lance doesn't have any leverage.
If he's their only option at the most important position in the game, he absolutely has leverage.
He's not
even
their
despite
only
the fact
option.
that he hasn't played. He is. He's their only option. To your point, why? And because they already spent a draft pick on a quarterback this year, and they didn't properly forecast the timing involved here. They didn't take the 1 minute necessary to go to overthecap.com and look at Trey Lance's contract and say, hey, this thing expires at the exact same time that Dak Prescott's does. So there's no real benefit to trading for him.
Ain't nobody knocking on his door. Ain't nobody coming and saying, how much? Hey, Trey, why don't you show up here?
Then why did you trade a 4th round draft pick for him?
Exactly for this. I think you're looking more at the 4th round draft pick than him.
I mean, I really don't think that there was any logic to trading for Trey Lance. I think it was a wild moment, a wild day, and they decided to do it. But once you
really
apply, yes, because once you apply context, if Trey Lance was a 2022 first round draft pick and you had that extra year, then it makes sense. Then you can look at that and say, okay, they clearly forecasted a world where Dak Prescott's not on their team, and they protected themselves. They went and bought insurance. They didn't buy insurance.
But he wasn't available then.
But it's not that he wasn't available then. It's that his contract doesn't line up with things. This is a very simple.
They went and got a guy that looked like
he's not a guy, Rob. What are you saying?
That
he's
looks
a guy.
like he has some potential to maybe do it, and they had an opportunity to get him, and they went
to
and
find out about that potential. His contract expires at the exact same time as Dak's.
Can you figure it out in training camp? Is there enough?
How can you figure it out in training camp when you have to give those snaps to your starter? You have a limited amount of snaps, and yes, they will give him second team reps, and that will be fine, but that's not real life NFL action. He's a 4th year starter. You have no idea who he is, and you have to make a serious decision about him very, very, very soon while you're thinking about making a decision about the guy ahead of him and Dak Prescott. The Trey Lance trade was a failure.
Then why is it crazy for them to look at a quarterback? If they're going to lose Trey Lance, no matter what, they should be drafting a quarterback.
It's not crazy in the prism of where we are, but we're deep in crazy. We're at 40 levels, down into the rabbit hole. So like crazy here is normal. And so while it isn't crazy, it is frustrating because you've lost, if you do draft a quarterback, and if that guy's your starter next year, you've lost the benefit, the primary benefit of a rookie quarterback contract, because the primary benefit of that is that particular player is on the books for cheap money, and you can soup up the roster around them because of that particular quality. But you are going to be limited and handicapped in that capacity because Dak Prescott's going to be on the books next year. So again, none of what they're doing is operating in parallel with one another. These are perpendicular properties, and that's the frustrating thing.
Well, by your measure, there is literally nothing they can do that's right.
I wouldn't say.
Oh, well, listen to you. Don't do it. Sign him. Don't do it. There is nothing that they could offer you that would say, okay, you've done something right now.
No, what I'm saying is there is no, magic fix to all of this. That there is now some time. Like the infection has to, kind of make its way out here of decisions they made. The infection isn't one particular player. And what's frustrating is these things are well known to the average person like me. I mean, that can identify the length of Trey Lance's contract, the length of Dak Prescott's contract, that understands the primary benefit of a quarterback on a rookie contract. And they haven't understood these things. They haven't capitalized on them when the entire rest of the NFL seems capable of that. That's what's frustrating.
Well, not the entire. They're one of many that have issues. Not the entire. I mean, we get lost in the myopia of us. There's a lot of ignorant teams out there. We just got to rely on the ignorance of others to sustain the Cowboy fan. Yeah, damned if they do, damned if they don't. We'll consider it. Go to blockingtheboys.com. RJ does have a great article on Trey Lance and could he commence some snaps along with other stuff. Coming back, well, they did it. The numbers prove it. Basketball is truly genderless. Let's check out the numbers after the tournament and post that. It's Masters Day. We're looking at the par 3 and the NBA playoffs. Hang around. A lot to do. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at the Big Blind. It's like being in Vegas all over again.
Let's just hope the result is better in that tournament tonight than it was in Las Vegas. Of course, it's a Wednesday. That means Wednesdays with Wade. Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, will join us at 4:35, and we'll react to last night's Spurs game.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
You got a 10-year-old vet, but really these convertibles bring more when they're automatics. And why? Do you know why, Dave?
So the women can drive them, yes, sir.
There you go. So the women can drive. Not that a woman can't drive a stick. It's just not comfortable. Is that misogynistic?
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Misogyny.
Yeah. Well,
I'll call you Eminem.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend.
Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest styles with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect pass-through socket set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein tools in-store and online today because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros. Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect pass-through socket set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein tools in-store and online today because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Gather around here on the Morning Huddle. Hey, go play some poker tonight. Join Joe and Jason at the Big Blind out there at the Rue Pub, the Angry Elephant. They got a 6K Wednesday gig going. They're going to go out $60 buy-in, $60 rebuy. They got free drink vouchers. It's going to be a good time. Go on out there. I hope this is the first of many on a good Wednesday night. 6K Wednesday nights. Spurs will play again tonight as well there in Oklahoma City, trying to surpass the 20 win mark. They are now tied as the worst franchise or the worst team in franchise history, kissing their sister. They hope to separate between now and Sunday. Looks like it's coming down to Detroit, baby.
This whole kissing your sister thing, you're really obsessed with.
It's ties. That's what a tie is.
I understand that, but maybe move on. Maybe an advanced analogy.
On it more than anything else, I think.
I think you're the one who's fixated on it.
Well, you're the only one reacting.
Wow.
Just saying. Okay. How many of us watched the ladies on Sunday? It was like max of 24 million, 18 million average.
The peak for the women's tournament was 24 million people. But the overall kind of score that it received was about 18 million. That wasn't the peak.
And it kind of by the end of the game, it was about 10-point separation, and it really felt like South Carolina had separated. So I can see why you might have turned away to watch a thrilling Valero Texas Open close.
Mhm.
How'd the men do? It wasn't bad.
The numbers are in, not bad at all. 14.8 million was the average, so 4 million fewer than the men.
The
I'm sorry,
Caitlin
than the
effect?
women.
That's the Caitlin effect.
This was pointed out by Richard Deitch in The Athletic. I am in no way trying to underscore the Caitlin effect, but it's worth mentioning that the women's title game was on ABC, which is basic
Over the
programming.
air broadcast, yeah.
Right. The men's game was on TNT, which is technically cable. Like, you know what I mean? So
Well, I can tell you this. If you have Fubo and you don't have Max, you don't see any of those games. Any TNT games.
If you're a streamer, Fubo notably is great. I'm not that.
I'm a
just
fan.
paying
I have it.
customer. Right. But the only thing that Fubo doesn't have is access to those channels, TNT, TBS, I guess True TV. But the Max Sports add-on does have it. So that's how you and I have prospered over the last 6 weeks or so.
And they're eventually going to charge us for that, but right now it's free.
Well, and we'll need it throughout the NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs on TNT. But anyway, I do think that was
it played a role,
a factor. Yeah, I mean, like if you're on basic cable, it's going to set you up to do well. That's the reason why, if anyone's curious, ESPN has been so adamant about getting a Super Bowl on ABC. The Super Bowl that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman ultimately do will be on ABC, and it will probably be the most watched thing in the history of the world because it will be on ABC, which is one of the biggest channels in the world.
Well, yeah, but I think it'll always come down to matchup before.
Again, I don't want to take away from
pipeline matters, but it's matchup that really pays the bills.
Pumbaa brings up in the Brigade Bar, the men's title game was on a Monday. That is a factor as well. And I mean, there's, we're all sitting on the couch generally on Sunday afternoons. Monday evenings, you're wrangling up the kids, you're, coming down from the day. I mean, it's different kind of vibe.
Also, the tip at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern, which put them at a 11:30 close. There's a lot of people turn the lights off, so you start losing averages as the game goes on, no matter how good it is. Kids got to go to bed. I mean, it's a school night, so there are some hamstrung things, but I don't want to let that get in the way of the fact it wasn't a $4 million hit. I mean, a 4 million viewer hit. It was right. It was Caitlin to some extent. It was the momentum built because of the other ladies and the other teams, and it was a Sunday afternoon. Now, do you believe in your heart of hearts, are you willing to say that the Caitlin effect will carry into the WNBA next year? Will they see an immediate bump, or is she just going to fall in with a bunch of other stars that we love for a while, but once the ladies started playing in the summer, we were kind of basketballed out?
I don't think it's just Caitlin, to be clear. I mean, I think we've got an incredible class entering the WNBA.
We do.
And I think that's like, it's a moment that we're seeing. Now, will it be, an identic transition? I don't think anything ever is. But I absolutely think that the WNBA is about to be more popular. I think there's a friend of mine on Twitter who checked his local WNBA team. Those tickets are like 500% more expensive than any others.
Really?
And that's the Caitlin effect. I mean, it's those types of things that I think in a lot of things are just a war of attrition. And as this happens over time, I think 5 years from now, the WNBA is a completely different thing than it is right now because of Caitlin's presence.
It wasn't Magic Bird, but it was a catapult, this tournament. And we're finally getting to a point where the names matter and not the coaches. Now, the coaches are going to continue to be the most important thing in college basketball. But the names coming into the WNBA, we know. We know who Paige Buchers is. We know who Caitlin Clark is. And I would say over the last 5 years, back to Sabrina and those, we know who they are now. And we know the teams they play for. And Caitlin is certainly going to add depth to that. So I think that this is a catapult moment. We are in the midst of a beginning. And I remember when Magic and Bird were playing in the NCAA finals, the NBA finals that year were tape delayed. The NBA was tape delayed, and you saw it at 10:30. You didn't get to even see it live. So as far as the NBA has come because of names over franchises, when Larry O'Brien and then really Stern realized it's much more about the player than the team, they took that and ran. And I think that the WNBA now has the players to supplant the team, that they have enough in enough different places that now when you tune in on a Tuesday night, it's not the stars versus the I was going to say fever, but it doesn't matter. It's the star player versus the star player. And that's what has always driven ratings. And now they have it. So here we go.
I think I'm not a fan or a rooter for a controversy, but it also helps. And I think it helped the lead up to the title game that we had the Iowa UConn, moving screen foul. Like those things all help with narrative and interest, whether it's positive or negative. And so, I mean, that will only continue on, right? I mean, the Fever win. I mean, being hypothetical, the Fever win a game with, some sort of controversial call. Oh, that's it. That's all. Caitlin does is she just needs the calls or what? I mean, you know what I mean? Like those narratives, follow people are flopping or whatever, and that narratives work in a positive way, obviously, and you want that to be the case, 100% of the time. But yeah, I mean, that is so amazing. I mean, I don't know that anyone would have ever been able. If I had asked you 10 years ago if you thought a women's title game would ever outdraw a men's, I think you would have said it's impossible.
Never, it won't.
And it didn't like eke out more viewers. I mean, it dominated.
It was no doubt that it is genderless basketball. Coming back, Tiger Woods is just like me in one part of his life. Wait till you hear this. We'll be here. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome this Sunday as they take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let's pack the dome and join the herd in the best seats at the best prices, now starting at $15.50. Led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips and quarterback Chase Garbers. Experience the excitement. Head to theUFL.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. It's the Brahmas versus the Battlehawks Sunday. Kickoff in the Dome is at 2. Get your tickets now at theUFL.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's Buyers Barricades.
Hi, this is Quentin.
And this is Brianna.
A little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips are how satisfying they are. The chicken strips are amazing. They're always filling, tender, and juicy. Definitely one of my favorite things on the menu.
My favorite thing is the last bite. The last bite is nice and juicy, and it's wrapped up in some crispy breading that keeps it nice and tasty. And being able to scoop up my Chick-fil-A sauce with it, it's just like the best part of the meal. It's an undefeated combo.
Order the chicken strips on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So Money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hey, baseball fans, go yard with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. All season long, we're offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, shared 50K Grand Slam jackpots, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the chance at a bigger payout or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, head to the ballpark, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. For West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
I hurt every day. So yes, I ache. No, I ache every day. And I prefer it warm and humid and hot. And I know we're getting some thunderstorms, so at least it'll be hot. It won't be like last year.
Tiger Woods yesterday in Augusta sounded a lot like I do. Snap, crackle, and pop when you wake up in the morning. A little bit of motion is lotion stuff, get things going. You got that old man strength. It just takes a while to get the train moving. Hey, we'll be right back. We got some silver and black talk, and it didn't happen very often, but for the 20th time this year, the Spurs awoke. At how they got there. Victor filled the boxes. Can they surpass the infimality? Infimality? I think that's really a word. We'll be right back. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Pros save big every day when you buy in bulk at Lowe's. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more select OSB sheathing. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it. And at the same time, I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details.
Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's time to replace. And right now you can get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. Plus, with our spring savings event, you can buy one window or door and get one 40% off when you buy 4 or more units. Just text PROJECT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no monthly payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Text PROJECT to 200-300 to buy one window or door and get one 40% off. And right now, save an extra $30 off every unit. Hurry, this incredible offer is only in April. Text PROJECT to 200-300. Text the word PROJECT to 200-300. PROJECT to 200-300.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. May 1st, Frostbank Center. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews choose among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Your floors can go from clean to dirty fast. From juice spills, whoops, to muddy paw prints, to little sticky finger marks. Good thing your Swiffer WetJet works fast too. Swiffer WetJet easily cleans everyday messes as quick as they happen. The next mess is right around the corner. So grab your Swiffer WetJet and just spray, push, all clean.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs got win number 20 on the season as they beat the Grizzlies in Memphis 102-87. Wembanyama went for 18 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, and 7 blocks. They're busy again tonight taking on OKC. In OKC, the tip at 7. The Rangers dropped their series opener to the Oakland A's 4-3. They continue it tonight right here on San Antonio Sports Star, pregame at 6:30.
Wembanyama three. Good! Goes behind the back here. Oh! Little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama. Drive. Oh, it's knocked away by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, take a knee, huddle up, do what you got to do. We got stuff to do. This is the Morning Huddle. That's RJ Ochoa, Natalie attired in his golf polo and prep for par 3. Is it par 3 Wednesday? Is that what we call it? It is.
That's correct.
It is par 3 Masters Wednesday. We're going to look at the Masters. Got to make your picks today. We get going tomorrow. I see Tiger going off about a little after noon tomorrow. As the pairings are announced and the timing is there as we prepare for a fine weekend of green-jacketed golf. The silver and black, another color, another team, got their win last night. They will no longer go down in history as the worst. They will be kissing a family member. As it's and to get past 21 gets them apart. They won't be the last. And last night, yet again, though, against a G League team, the Spurs went on the road with Wemby and a bunch of other dudes, and it wasn't wire to wire, but it wasn't in doubt for very long. They beat a team that has clearly thrown in the towel. So have the Spurs. It's not like they're not doing anything different. We just had a Wemby and they didn't, and it showed.
Yeah, I mean, a nice night at work, I suppose, for the Spurs. Only 31 minutes for Wemby. 2 months ago, I think we would have rioted about that. But not even a double-double. You know what I mean? Like, you would have thought,
But every box was filled. I mean, it was not like he wasn't participating. He is the pivot point of that offense. He is. And it works. When he has the ball, and The offensive structure, I noticed Mamu a lot of times last night when he grabbed the rebound, had free reign, turn and go, start the offense, get it across half court. If you see an opening, keep going. If you don't, find a guard. You notice when Wemby grabs a rebound and he brings it up, the two other guards that were on the court, normally it was Malachi and Blake Wesley, immediately went to the top of the key to set a high pick because Victor's looking down on the entire NBA. So when that high pick comes, those little guards dive to the rim. It's this reverse pick and roll that we ran all night long. It worked.
It was solid fundamental basketball in that sense, and it accomplished the greater goal. We did it. No longer have to be worried about anything silly or feeling bad or poorly about ourselves. This last month has been a success, and I think last night it wasn't like hard earned, it wasn't dramatic, it wasn't crazy, it wasn't whatever, but it was a relief. I mean, it was. The Spurs are 5-3 in their last 8 games. Who would have thought? I mean, if I had told you again 2 months ago that they would go 5-3 in any 8-game stretch, that would have felt impossible.
It really would have. But it seemed like it would have been probable by now. But it would have been probable by now with Devin and Jeremy and Keldon and everybody else closing out the season, playing for next year, looking like a play-in team rather than a play-out team. And we are right now, but not with those guys. And I throw last night's sample out. Last night had nothing to do with the NBA. There wasn't a guy on that Memphis side that has any potential to do anything. They really don't. I mean, that was a G League game last night, Spurs included.
It was your Austin Spurs night, effectively.
Really? And City Sissoko, it was nice seeing you in your blue shiny shoes. Had a nice dunk, played well. He's an athlete. There's no question about it. And I'll stand by it. If we don't win another game till Sunday, let's bring the Austin Spurs in with Wemby. Bring the Austin Spurs in. Bring them in with Wemby. And there ain't a whole lot of difference to prove to the rest of the world that while defensive efficiency for a team matters, the award is Defensive Player of the Year, not Defensive Team of the Year and the best guy on that team. The award is Defensive Player. And now everybody in the NBA is stating the obvious. On podcast after podcast, current player, former player, Shaq, everybody. Oh no, he's player of the year. It doesn't matter. What's the one that I want to bring up is one that I found remarkably random. It was a podcast of a Raymond Felton. We got this one. Listen to Raymond Felton. This is random, but listen, this is typical of the NBA.
Victor Wembanyama's Defensive Player of the Year. Thank you. And it's not. And I'll be real with you, and it's not close.
It's not even close. People talking about Rudy Gobert. It's not close. This man had 9 blocks the other night. This man almost had a quadruple double. He was this close.
Against the potential MVP.
Against Jokic.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, it's not close. Victor Wembanyama is the Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year. He will get an MVP. He will get an MVP. He's a freak.
He's a problem, bro. He's a problem. I like it.
He's a problem. It's a problem. And at least the rest is coming to the realization that, yes.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that everybody is. I mean, and I'm not saying myself, but look, this is a weirdly divisive subject.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I find it weird. You're right.
There's no middle ground here. There's either you're stupid for not acknowledging that he's Defensive Player of the Year, or this is ridiculous. Shaq, I wouldn't say thinks it's ridiculous, but I think this is a fair point. I think that, Shaq approached this from a sound base of logic as far as being against Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't know the rules and regulations. Defensive player of the year, him as a single individual defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year.
answer is hell yes. But you guys,
Hell yes.
yes, as a single individual. But you guys and your
So you would say
regulations.
He just did this whole thing
Let me
about if
finish.
he's 7'5", he's
No, he
supposed
should
to.
be doing that.
But hold on. I just gave him props. So what are you whining about, Candace?
Because you just did this
But you
whole
just did something
thing where
totally
you
different.
discredited everything that we
I
were
did
saying.
not discredit. I
and
said
now
no.
You say he's supposed to be doing it.
That's not discredit. I'm saying the dude is 7'5". He's supposed to be blocking shots.
And he
There's
is.
other people
Zach
that were
Edey,
blocking shots
7'5",
at
he
this
ain't
rate.
doing that.
Who?
Zach Edey, 7'5", he ain't doing that.
But
Well, he
he's
is, too.
dominating in other ways. But anyway, as a single individual, him playing defense with the player, yes. But you guys in the media, the new rules that you put in, his team.
Oh, we in the
First of all,
media
you're
now.
part of the media.
We in the media now.
His
That's all.
team does not
You've
have
been
a
in
winning
the media
team.
longer
So
than all of
does that
us.
disqualify him as being a defensive player there if his team is not winning?
No, but how about this? So you always pose that question. I'm going to pose it to you.
I don't know the rules anymore.
Shaq, that's along with Jamal Crawford and Candace Parker yesterday.
I think it's fair to say he's 7'5". That's what I appreciated about what Shaq said. You know, but to your point, to the collective point, not the hoop collective, but
that socialist organization that talks basketball.
He should be this good. But so in a weird way, that is kind of a handicap, but the fact that he is living up to being this good is also proof positive. It's a weird juxtaposition.
It is. Cougs, you brought it up. You obviously were highly educated in your high school years from a fine part of town. Did you see the 3-on-1 fast break last night? So there's a breakaway. Now, granted, these are a bunch of G League dudes that are going to be back at the Foot Locker next week wearing a referee shirt selling shoes. But this is,
gosh.
but there's a 3-on-1. I wish I could name the dudes that were involved. I don't know who they were. A headband, a little guy, and big guy. Headband dribbling the ball down, sees Wemby, goes, no, I'm not going into the paint. Passes it to little guy. Little guy takes one dribble, goes, no, I'm not going into the big. Then he throws to the big. Big goes, no, I'm not going in. So finally somebody had a little bit of cojones and went in, and they got a layup eventually. But watching him single-handedly stop a 3-on-1 fast break, and it wasn't like he was at the free throw line meeting the dribbler. He was still at the rim. There were jump shots to be had from 12 feet in. Not a guy wanted it. That's Defensive Player of the Year. That alone, just send that little cut to every voter and go, would they do that to Gobert? No, they'd pull up and take a jump shot. But they're so afraid Victor takes one step. And keep in mind, just 30 seconds prior, he had sent a jump shot into the seats.
If you had to come up, if you were being paid to be a lawyer for us, all right?
Well, I'm not, and never have been and shouldn't be, but my brother, I would pay him. Yes.
If you were, and you had to defend the notion that he is not Defensive Player of the Year, you have to.
Right.
What's the most logical argument you can make?
There is not.
But,
An argument. The most logical argument I could make is the one that's being made. How good could you be if your team is that bad?
I have a different argument that I would make if I was the lawyer for us. So now we're a team. You know what I mean? We're on retainer, so we do the whole thing. Anyway, so my argument would be, and to be clear, I think this is stupid, but I think it's the best one you can make, is he has to pay his dues. He can't win Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie, whatever. He'll wind up winning some of these. The water will stabilize and everything will whatever. He's got to earn it. He's got to put in his service.
Right.
These are the best arguments that you can make against him, which are both incredibly flawed.
There is no argument other than this is how it's always been. You earn it the year before. And we've heard it before for others, and eventually it paid off. But when it is low-key now the cool thing to say on your informed podcast, when the likes of Raymond Felton, and I'm sure there are many other current and former NBA types that over the next week are going to go, okay, it's awards season, and they want to be controversial. They want to be the one, and it's no longer, it's kind of like the badass Biotish thing. But the cool thing to say now is, Wemby's the Defensive Player of the Year. That's the cool thing to say now.
See, and that's where we sort of like reverse correct and overcorrect.
Right.
So now there's going to be all these people, to your exact point, who are saying, look, I know what everyone's saying, but in my opinion, Wemby's the real defensive player of the year. And everyone's going to act like it's this unique idea, this unique take. And, look at all, and they're going to rip off all the stats and things we've been talking about for 3 months. I mean, so if that's the case, we don't all have to say, like, we know it's dumb, but he's the defensive player of the year. If we all recognize it to be dumb, why do we have to do and execute the dumb thing?
Yes, there we go. But there is always the safety and the sanctity of a private ballot. I found it very interesting that when the NBA, all of the NBA players, before the collective bargaining agreement, said, there's no reason for one and done. They should be able to. I wish I could have come out. But when they went behind the ballot, the sanctity and the privacy of the ballot box, they all voted to hold those guys out one more year. I'll leave it there, because if they come out, they could be taking my job. So, hey, yeah, it's all great. I wish I could have come out. I think they should have the right. And I'll put it on the record. I'm going to say it. No more than one and done. Well, they go vote. Suddenly that one and done's still there. Because it's their job. It's the right thing to say that Gobert has earned it, and next year it'll be Victor. But in the ballot box, maybe the privacy and the sanctity of that, the people go, but the real player of the year, my mind tells me, my eyes tell me it's Victor.
I don't know. I think you need to have, for something like that to happen, you need to have a prominent person. So somebody has to be the first big time domino to fall.
Who would that be?
I don't know. I mean,
like Wemby. I mean, like Wendy, like a pundit, a Wendy.
Yeah,
horse,
like I'm saying, you need like a Bill Simmons or a Zach Lowe to come out and say it, kind of like the way Russillo did. I mean, I think that's a good example of, like, I really respect that Russillo said, I'm voting for him. I'm telling you right now, like, he's putting his name on it. Like, that should be mandatory. Your ballot should have to be public if you are fortunate enough to have one, because we should understand who each person is voting for and where the votes are coming from. I mean, this secret ballot, this isn't a 6th grade class president election. You know what I mean? Like, it's something really important that a lot of, is determined off of.
The Cowboys got themselves an MVP caliber quarterback. They got themselves a first-round high quarterback in the roster. Appears they might be looking for another. What does that mean to the roster? What does that mean to the team? What does that mean to RJ? Can't wait to hear this. The Cowboys are in the market for another QB. Maybe early. We'll talk about that next. We're glad you're with us. This is the Morning Huddle, and you are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of latest style. Each weekend, tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
As we wind down the NBA regular season, still time to get in on the action at Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. I love playing the Pick'em game, a fantasy game where you can win real money, and it's legal in Texas. Love playing the Pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players and select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money, and it's certainly a lot of fun to play and adds excitement to watching these silver and black. So go to the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you'll get a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, use my promo code STAR when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. To move closer to family, live within a smaller budget, or just wanting a change of scenery. Whatever your reasons, having to figure out all the various housing market trends in your area may not be what you signed up for. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. Realtors have the expertise to help you find the right price and navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. That's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And with my Lowe's Rewards, your savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers and earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
San Antonio Sports Star. Wake up with the Morning Huddle.
Get up! It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. Just the beginning of a full sporting day. The Blitz is going to be live out at the Big Blind. It'll be the first time they're hosting a party. It's going to be a good one. This is a regular event. It's the Wednesday 6K, $60 buy-in, $60 re-entry. You got drink vouchers for a couple of free cocktails. It's the Blitz going at the Big Blind, 281 in Redland. You know where it is, right next to the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant. Blitz will get there early and stay till late. The $60 rebuy will help you stay around for a little bit. What a great deal. What a great place. Head over to the Big Blind tonight between 2 and 6 at the very least, but pack a lunch and stay all day. They got fine food over there at the Roo Pub, by the way. Not pub grub, posh nosh, as we like to say. So how you liking that J.J. McCarthy? Maybe a Spencer Rattler might measure up for you. Maybe there's a quarterback floating around that could be the next Carson Wentz from a small school.
I don't want to be your friend anymore.
The Cowboys, by rumor, are evidently maybe a low-key underdog possible quarterback draft team. And, you know, that's silly to even bring up. I think every team should be a low-key quarterback search kind of thing. I'd draft a quarterback every year.
Well, so, look, Adam Schefter is the foremost insider in the NFL. And when he speaks, it's notable, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is a story today, because Adam Schefter went on NFL Live yesterday and said that he considers the Cowboys as a sleeper in the draft. All due respect to his sources and his plugged-in nature, this is kind of like, you know, it's sort of a sleeper thing that, you know, if you add 2 and 2, you're going to get 4. Because Ford himself is entering a contract here with the Cowboys, and they currently do not have a quarterback at all under contract for 2025. Cooper Rush and Trey Lance both slated to hit free agency unless the Cowboys shockingly pick up Trey Lance's 5th-year option. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense if they're considering moving on from Dak to draft somebody. This is something we've all been talking about for a long time. And the fact that we're getting closer and closer to the NFL draft suggests that, you know, the water's going to have to go somewhere. And either the Cowboys are going to draft a quarterback and establish admittedly a loose, but still an actual tangible point of leverage against Dak, or they're not going to draft one, and they're going to, further prove that they have absolutely no plan for the future. But they also have no plan for the present, Rob, because we know that Dak is going to command an enormous amount of money. We know that CeeDee Lamb, who may or may not hold out, is going to command an enormous amount of money. And we know that Micah Parsons is going to command an enormous amount of money. And we do have some breaking news. Shout out to Edwin, who put this in my ear during the break. What do we like to say about the price, Rob?
What?
The price, the collective price when it comes to stuff like this. What do we like to say?
If you wait, it goes up.
It always goes up. It was reported just a moment ago by NFL Network's Ian Rappaport that the Jacksonville Jaguars and pass rusher Josh Allen are closing in on a 5-year contract. They notably placed the franchise tag on him. The numbers, it is a 5-year, $150 million deal. I know you are a gifted mathematician, so can you tell me what $150 million over 5 years averages out to?
I don't know. 25.
That would be 30.
30.
30.
20, yeah, I was going to go 29, 20.
So we're talking about a world, a very likely future world, at least if you want to employ these people, where Dak Prescott's probably going to make $60 million per year, where CeeDee Lamb's probably going to make $30 million per year, and where now Micah Parsons has an argument to make 30. He already had one, to be clear, but to make $30 million per year. And you may think that Josh Allen's better. That would be stupid, to be very clear. But the point is, the longer you wait, the more this just got more expensive. Micah's price tag is more expensive than it was 15 minutes ago because you waited, because you're not getting anything done. And that could happen at wide receiver in the coming weeks or months. It could be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle or Brandon Ayuk. It could continue to happen at quarterback. The Jaguars could pay Trevor Lawrence. The Dolphins could pay Tua Tagovailoa.
They're not.
I mean, they could, though. I mean, and you run the risk. How do you know they're not?
Because they know the Cowboys are going to pay Dak.
I mean, waiting and waiting and waiting is only going to make this more painful for you, which is why the Cowboys have they have the most length of time on Micah's deal, but waiting is only going to drag the price up.
Well, somebody's going to get paid. He's going to have to do the look what I brung you. That's what Jerry's always done. So who's going to be? I still say it's going to be CD. CD's going to get his money.
I think they're all going to get their money.
I think it'll be sooner. I think he will step out and pay a whopping amount to CeeDee Lamb and further use it for more excuses for Dak's money. Look, I'm paying. It'll be a bad excuse, but look what I've done to help you stay great. I'm paying CD. It fits the narrative. He'll pay him, and this will be the only one I think of all of them that he'll pay ahead of time. That he'll pay in a prudent time to help with the negotiations with other stuff.
Well, the prudent time has come and gone.
Well, yeah, the Cowboys.
There's no prudent
time,
hour left to pay, but I think they will all get paid. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the least confident in Dak for narrative-driven reasons, but I think they will all get paid, and all of them will. I don't mean to say they will get overpaid because they're all incredibly talented players. They're all among the best at their position, but they will be overpaid because the Cowboys are going to wait that long. And there's no reason why you shouldn't have had the CeeDee Lamb extension done, the Micah Parsons extension done. I mean, we're several months into the offseason. You sure as hell haven't been busy, signing other external free agents or anything like that. So what are you doing? What are you accomplishing? There's nothing happening here. You have nothing to show for your work, if there was any work to begin with.
The idea of waiting with Micah, we brought it up yesterday, that Micah hasn't been on the police blotter. It's not like he's been the typical Dallas Cowboy headache, but he's certainly been vocal, and he hasn't really been too negative about the boys, but he's just vocal. And there's always the worry about that. The Blitz asked Shereen Williams, NFLnetwork.com legend, Mama Football. This is what she had to say, and man, I'm with her.
Well, number one, it came from the Cowboys flagship station. So if the Cowboys wanted to cut that off, they could simply call the flagship station and say, stop this nonsense. It's obvious they haven't done that. So I would start there, but I would also point out that none of the beat writers who are out there every single day have written a story like this. So take that however you want to take it. I don't know that matters. He's a great player. He's not doing things off the field that concern you as far as red flags, arrests, suspensions, none of those type things. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm not worried about anything he's doing. He's he's talking, he's speaking his mind. Big deal. I mean, I agree with Mike. Mike and I talked about it before he ran it. If that's a concern for you, then you're probably in the wrong business, and you probably do need to just let him walk away then. If that's truly a concern, let him walk away. There are 31 other teams in this league that would love to have Micah Parsons and would put up with whatever the Cowboys feel like is a problem if they truly feel that way.
That's Shireen Williams.
For full
And
context.
was that Mike Fisher that she was referring to?
No, so for full context, Shireen works for Pro Football Talk.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry,
Mike Florio.
Oh, Mike
she's
Florio.
referring to.
Okay.
So, but what she's, for anyone who somehow missed this, last week, Sean Sharif from Sean and RJ on 105.3 The Fan, I'm paraphrasing here. This isn't verbatim, but he mentioned that he had heard, and Florio and Shireen wrote about this at PFT, that he had heard from people in the building that if Micah were to leave, there would be kind of a breathe or a sigh of relief, that he's worn thin. And that's the only place where any kind of report like this, if you want to call it a report, came out and emerged. That's why Shireen said, hey, there hasn't been any kind of report like this from the people on the beat. Obviously, Sean and RJ do a great job on their morning show.
But there had been. Well, I mean, let's be real. That is a real thing, that he is a little out there.
I don't know that, but that wasn't what the discussion was. The discussion was that he'd worn thin.
Yeah,
There's a very big difference between wearing thin and being out there.
But, you get the sense there probably was somebody inside the organization that mentioned something like, man, like if you'll bring it back up, Edwin, on our brigade bar, like, hey, man, a lot of talk from a guy who can't get a sack in a playoff game. You get the sense that maybe there's some guys that, why don't you just shut up and practice and, be part of this circus and get a sack in a playoff game, and then you can go, talking about stuff.
The only other report that I would offer along these lines came from Joy Epstein of Yahoo Sports. She had a detail where she mentioned that some people, talk about Micah and say Micah is really great, and when the Cowboys are dominating,
right.
but in big time moments he's a little quiet, and it's a very different evaluation of Micah Parsons than we've had for the last, for most of the last 3 years, right? When it comes to Micah, it's been, he's amazing, he's perfect, he's whatever. But now Micah's falling victim to being a Cowboy who, is part of an underperforming team and being part of the reason that they're underperforming. Dak Prescott's, I don't know what movie it's from, but the James Franco meme where he's got the noose around his neck and he's like, first time, Dak Prescott's over here like, so they're dragging you, they're saying that you're not as good as you are. That must really suck. We welcome to life here. And so for the most part, this feels like, I wouldn't say conjecture, but it does feel like pontificating a little bit, but pontificating based on some potential realities. Although, I mean, is it a coincidence? If you really want to go tinfoil hat, that we're starting to hear these stories as Micah's up for a contract extension for the first time in his NFL career. I mean, you can't help but wonder that based on the inactivity the Cowboys have had. And so that this is a thing at all is messy and it's unfortunate. And Shireen is right that the Cowboys could very easily call them up and say, put an end to this. We don't want this kind of conversation out there, but they don't.
CD will happen. I just feel in my bones it's going to happen sooner than later. Just because the PR bump is an absolute necessity for the Cowboys right now. And it's an easy one. That's easy. Pay the man. Now, the other ones you can quibble. Dak, I don't know. But CD is the easy.
All three of them are easy.
Well,
decisions.
no, Micah is an easy. CD is an easy. But, whatever the long-term plan for Dak is, of which we have no idea, I could see that being the last or maybe not happening at all. But the other ones just seem so evident and apparent. Like, what are you waiting on? But I do want to, as we close it down, and we're gonna talk some baseball here in a second. I do want to say that it does take two to tango. And when we say these guys have all the leverage, they know that and they'll use that.
Well, and they have each other as other points of leverage. I mean, and the Cowboys, and I understand that, right? It does take two to tango, but that's why the word I've always used with you has been, you have to overwhelm them. You have to give them a reason. You have to give them a reason to sign the deal. And so you're clearly not doing that. Now, maybe, obviously, in a world of infinite possibilities, the Cowboys have just found three of the most stubborn people in the world who just, won't do any kind of business with them. But what do you think the potential or most probable likelihood here is? The most probable likelihood is that we haven't heard them yet, but soon enough, I would bet my bottom dollar on this. The Cowboys, Steven or Jerry, are going to come out and say, well, we have a lot of talented players to pay, and it would help, if they all kind of helped with the overall cap. They're going to start to pit them against one another, but nowadays player is way too smart for this. Nowadays fan is way too smart for this. They're able to see through the facade, and the Cowboys, this is their problem to solve. It was predictable. It was always known that these players were going to need their contracts or their extensions beginning in 2024. This was the thing they told us they prepped and prepared for. Where's the preparation now? Where's all the work that you said you were doing, all the groundwork that you were laying? We're here now. Now is the time to execute the plan that you told us you've had for several years, and you have nothing to show for it.
Now, tell me the status of Trey Lance. Will he be in training camp? Are they going to sign him? I mean, you got a great article there on Blogging the Boys, and obviously they expect to have to, if he's going to be around, he's going to be the second string quarterback, we assume, but he might not even be around. Will the draft
Lance
tell us?
Is entering the final year of his rookie contract at the moment. The Cowboys have the ability to exercise his 5th-year option which would tie him.
But then they tie him to
through
some money if they exercise it, right?
His 5th-year option value is $22.4 million.
Yikes!
All of which is guaranteed. That's the way 5th-year options work. And at the moment, Dak Prescott's already on the books for like $40 million next year. So if you pick up his 5th-year option, you commit to at least $60 million in cap space for the quarterback position next year across 2 different players between Dak and Trey, one of whom may not even actually be on the team in Dak. So that's why the idea of picking up the 5th-year option is preposterous. However, if you do ultimately enter negotiations with him next year and you do want to bring him back, the starting point, if you're Trey Lance's representation, is we want $22.4 million per year. Because we lost out on that when you didn't pick up his 5th-year option. That's the way business works. You can think that's unfair. You could be mad at Trey. But again, welcome to the world of supply and demand.
And so it goes. We'll keep looking at the Cowboys. Maybe we should start scouting the Division II quarterback crop because they might take one, but it's going to be late. They got other holes to fill. We'll keep talking about it. As the pitch clock entered the baseball lexicon, it was universally praised. My goodness, it made baseball much more watchable. But there has been an unintended consequence. Shane Bieber, Spencer Strider, Jonathan Loisiga, Yuri Perez, Trevor Scott, just to name a few, elbow injuries are blowing up. Is it the pitch clock? Is it the lack of the sticky stuff? What's going on in baseball? Let's look at some early returns, and the injuries are outrageous. Baseball talk coming next. This is the Morning Huddle, and you have chosen correctly. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at the Big Blind. It's like being in Vegas all over again.
Let's just hope your result is better in that tournament tonight than it was in Las Vegas. Of course, it's a Wednesday. That means Wednesdays with Wade. Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, will join us at 4:35 and will react to last night's Spurs game.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Trane heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. TraneInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. Coming up on the Blitz, we are live at the Big Blind, 281 in Redland Road. Can't wait for that. Going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to talk with Wade Phillips, the head football coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. He'll talk to us, and, wow, they're 2-0. We'll get excited about that. Plus, we'll react to the Spurs Grizzlies game from last night. Rob, RJ, have a happy home day.
Yes, sir. We're halfway home. It is the Morninng Huddle, a hump day edition. You know how I know it's hump day? Got the trash out.
Yeah?
It's a big deal around the Thompson Hill. It's a hike. And
there's nothing like a trash day when you have a lot of trash and you're like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of this. Later on, this thing's going to be so light.
Well, you know, for us, it's a little bit of a hike to the road. Mm-hmm. And, we have to do a private service. I don't have the city stuff. And I'm only allowed to have 3 cans on the ground. Anything else they leave, which is then varmint food. So if I miss a day, I only come on Wednesdays. If I miss it, it piles up and it takes weeks to catch up. This is one of those things. So Wednesday's a big deal around the Thompson house. It's how I get home. how I get treated when I get back. A couple years ago when the pitch clock was first kind of talked about and they tried it out in the minors, it just looked like a revelation because the general concern with baseball was, man, it's too long. Pastoral doesn't even begin to describe what baseball had become. Just wave off, wave off, wave off. And, you get the hitters that are fouling 19 straight fouls out and you end up with 4-hour baseball games in the middle of July when it's 110. It's even harder to watch on TV. Well, the pitch clock would seem like the fix, right? I mean, game speed sped up. It helped batting because, well, quite frankly, pitchers didn't have enough time between pitches. It kind of helped everything that we were complaining about with baseball. But here come the unintended consequences. According to Major League Baseball's Players Union, there's an unprecedented threat with this pitch clock because they're just not getting enough rest. The shorter pitch clock has, in their minds, contributed to a series of pitcher injuries. And the numbers, it is kind of ridiculous. I named them. There's just a weekend. Bieber, Spencer Strider, Loisiga, Trevor Gott, just to name a few, already dealing with elbow injuries. What do you do, RJ?
Framber Valdez went on the IL
Framber yesterday. That's right.
La Grasa. I mean, I don't know that I certainly don't know enough to, diagnose the situation, but at the very least, I think it's more than just the pitch clock. Justin Verlander spoke about this and mentioned velocity. I mean, the reality, and there's a lot of incredible, I guess, reporting and introspection happening here, is that in today's day and age, you've got to be able to throw harder, you've got to be able to throw faster, and you've got to reach that higher velocity. And the unfortunate reality is there are enough dudes who are willing to push themselves to where you can't afford to not. You get what I'm saying? Because so many people are willing to do it that there's, if you're not going to push yourself, if you're not willing to try to, I think the average fastball last year was recorded at 95.4 miles an hour. And that's up from like 90.8 in 2008. So, I mean, that's a significant jump in 15 years. And it's because these pitchers are willing to test their bodies in ways that they weren't or didn't have the ability or the means to do 15 years ago. And so if you're not willing to push yourself, somebody else will, and they'll take your job. And so you have to push yourself. And that's why and you combine that with having to do it in shorter order because of the pitch clock. And, at the end of the day, it's the human body, and everybody suffers the kind of wear and tear from it all.
Well, in football, though, they did everything they could to protect the quarterback. I mean, you breathe hard on Brady, but when he was still playing, he's down. I mean, the other leagues have gone to major moves to protect the safety of their players, and pitchers, rather important. Now, are we willing to say, and this is anecdotal. There has not been a complete study. In fact, there's one that says there's really, in the studies that in the limited number of pitches, and we have seasons worth of this, but still limited, that there has shown to be no correlation between the pitch clock and injuries, that it hadn't jumped. But it certainly feels like it to start things out. I think from what I've been hearing, the pitch clock is one thing. It's the lack of the sticky stuff that is really throwing pitchers off. Not that they use it to add a little bit of slide to the slider, a little bit of snot to the snotter, or whatever it might be. It has to do with the grip and the ball feeling, chalky and loose, and they have to grip the ball harder. So therefore, the ripple effect all the way to the elbow is such. It's not about the repetition. It's about the way they have to grip the ball if they've grown accustomed to using the sand or whatever is appropriate. I've heard the best is kind of like a mix between sunscreen and rosin. Is the best thing to give a little bit of tack to the baseball, not stick, but tack. That might be the problem. They don't know.
There's a lot of change that's happened very quickly, right? I mean, the outlawing of these sorts of things and the clock and everyone trying to maintain a high level of velocity. Again, I mean, if you're a human, which, by my measurement, we all are. And some of I mentioned Verlander, you've thrown thousands and thousands and thousands of balls in your life. I mean, your elbows, again, just going to naturally wear down.
RJ, I see a lot of going across the scroll like, hey, get used to it. It's the new rule. And I agree as a fan, but maybe, just maybe, the sticky stuff might be the appropriate move. I don't think you're going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube with the pitch clock. It's helped. And I think that you need to talk to pitchers about, yes, pushing yourself and understanding you only have this much time. You're going to have to train appropriately to that. And I know it's counter to everything you've done for most of your baseball life, but you only got 45 seconds. That's all you get. But the sticky stuff, universally, these pitchers have all said, I'm not cheating. I'm using it just to hold onto the ball. And when I don't have it, I have to grip it in such a way that it exhausts me. And I get that more than I get, I don't have enough rest between pitches. That one I think you can adjust to. But I do think that the grip thing is something that probably could be addressed sooner than later. What do you guys think?
Because they just get gooey and sticky and stick all over everything.
Your home life has nothing to do with this, Joe. Seriously, what do you guys think? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Not being a baseball guy, not having grown up in it and seeing the day-to-day needs of pitchers and players, it just appears to me that when you start seeing these kind of things and your players sitting and watching on IR, the investment, the fact that these guys are tangible, valuable assets, that you change the rules, you do whatever you can to protect your valuable asset. And it's not about, go ahead.
That's why you have to have a lot of those assets. I mean, and that's why, everybody's got a price and everything is all about, roster management. I mean, consider, we mentioned Fromber. The Astros have on their IL at the moment, him now, Justin Verlander, Jose Urquidy, Luis Garcia, and Lance McCullers Jr. That's their 5 starting pitchers.
So there's something up, right?
Some of these are, Lance McCullers Jr. has a bit of a, whatever. My point is that you can have the deepest, pitching staff in baseball, but it's still not enough. Think about it. We just named a 5-man rotation that is on their IL, and they've got they're 10 games in at this point in time. So you've got to have answers and answers and answers and answers all the time, constantly, 24/7, 365.
The Silver and Black, we're talking to them next. They are more than famous. They're infamous. They have 20 wins. Will they reach 21? We'll talk about it next here on 94.1.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Porn sites in Texas are turned off.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
they are?
The legislation passed a rule that you have to prove your age. And if you haven't proven your age, which nobody wants to put that information out on the porn sites, they lock you out.
In the past, they said, "Are you 21?" And me and all the other 8th graders would say, "Yes."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. May 1st, Frostbank Center. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Do you have a lack of energy, motivation, possibly low libido? These symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, their medical providers exclusively specialize in customized testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you get your results back at your first visit. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylow.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizin, a prescription-only 150-milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Folks, quality is a huge deal. It's what I look for when I recommend something to my listeners. It means you can depend on it. Quality means it won't let you down. It's something you can be proud of. Well, that's the definition of a Connecticut water softener. With other water softener brands, you just never know. Maybe they work half the time or they're just plain junk. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models and will be the last water softener you'll ever own. That's because you're buying quality, and it's backed up with an outstanding 10-year warranty, too. If you're ready to enjoy all the benefits that come with quality, bring home a Connecticut water softener. Call the team at Connecticut at 656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Connecticut.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs got number 20. That's the worst record of any franchise ever, but they're not alone. They were led by Victor Wembanyama in the 102-87 win over the Grizzlies with 18.7 boards and 6 assists. They get back to work tonight in Oklahoma City, taking on Chet Holmgren and the Thunder. The Rangers, they lost their opener to the Oakland A's 4-3. They'll get busy again tonight at 6:30 here on the Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, huddle up. We got something to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. That is RJ Ochoa. I am Rob Thompson, Easy E, driving this boat all the way till 10 o'clock. If you're just getting there, where you been? You missed anything, you can go to sasportstar.com. Hang around there for a while. We got all your updates, all the news, and the games you want to play. And you can go to the audio vault brought to you by 8A Best Bail Bonds to catch up on all things live here on San Antonio Sports Star. I have tickets to give to our fair listeners. Fiesta is just around the bend. I have Nyosa tickets. Those are worth their weight in gold. And I have Heights Night tickets. Those also are worth their weight in gold. So I'll be giving those away in the next hour. In about 43 minutes or so, Dr. Jason Garrett will parachute in. We're going to talk elbows in pitching and pitch clocks. We're going to talk weird calf injuries. Giannis Antetokounmpo if you didn't see it, limped off yesterday with what appeared to be an Achilles. It's not that, it's something else. We'll talk about what that is with Dr. Jason Garrett. But first, let's talk Spurs. Yippee! We didn't get it very often this year. For the 20th time in the 23-24 season, we have a victory. Spurs travel to Memphis and take on the G League Grizz, the Cubs, I guess, and bring home a not wire to wire, but pretty handy victory. They were the best team on the court last night. No doubt about it.
That is objectively and literally true.
Yes. We've only gotten to say that 20 times this year.
That's I don't know that we could say that 20 times. Like, do you think they were a better team than the Knicks when they were on the floor?
Hey,
did they win the game?
Scoreboard W.
That's true. Well, congratulations to all of us. We don't have to deal with the Spurs being the worst team ever.
We should have free coffee today.
I agree with you. I mean, this is the biggest win, no pun intended, I mean, that they've had all season, is it not? I don't know how you could deny that.
You jumped off the infamous list into just the famous for being bad list. No longer the worst team in franchise history, now tied for the worst the year before. We got Mr. Robinson's neighborhood in San Antonio. They did it. Maybe that will happen this year. They have managed to stay there at the bottom four. The 14% chance looks like they're going to be drafting high as the playoffs begin. Big news coming out of Milwaukee, not because there were only 2 free throws shot in a basketball game. That was a different game, but Milwaukee is going to be in trouble, but I'll tell you, there is a fix. We watched Giannis walk off yesterday with what appeared to be an Achilles. It wasn't that. It turned out to be a calf strain with a very unique muscle, one that I'd never heard of before, but for his teammate. Dame Lillard had the same problem last year, which is interesting. But here the Bucks sit heading into the playoffs. Obviously, Giannis is going to be on the block for a little bit, and calf strains are like hammies, man. I don't know when and where, but they got themselves the fix. They got Dame. That's what he's there for, right?
I'm still not ready and willing to judge the Bucks harshly. I mean, we're not there yet. I'm out. I'm as a jury member. If we comprise the jury and you're trying to convict, I need to see more. I'm sorry. I need more evidence before I recognize it's not looking good. You know what I mean? I recognize we're all probably leaning and heading in one direction, but I still need to see. I'm not quite there yet. I need proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I don't think you have that either. I think that a lot of
there for what?
Quick to bury the Bucks.
Oh, I'm not ready to bury him. I think Dame Lillard was brought in for this.
Okay.
Get Dame. You've done it before.
I think that Giannis is going to be okay.
Yeah, it's not as bad, but
right. But you're right. I mean, if the Dame thing had never happened, I think then we would be burying the Bucks, right? It'd be a matter of like, oh, you're done. Like if Giannis isn't 100%, you stand no chance. It's you against the super Celtics team. You know what I'm saying? But with Dame, you have a chance. With Dame, you can ride Dame out through the first 2 rounds, and you can survive.
I think they've botched themselves some time, and this was the preemptive prep that we accused the Cowboys of having no idea about. They went and got a guy just in case the other guy got hurt. And now it's time for Dame to put his money where his mouth is, because he's been all NBA, top guard, top 2 guard, 3 guard in the league for a decade now. And he left Portland to do just this. So go do it.
I think in a weird way, it's weird to say this about Milwaukee or what I'm about to say, but I mean, you leave Portland because it's too, it's easy to be the big fish in that small pond, right? But now you're in the ocean, right? Which again, it's weird that Milwaukee's there, but and that's, I hope you're listening, Brian, right? You can very quickly become an ocean if you do the right things, but now you need to be that big shark. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have felt like a big shark, but now you actually need to be the big shark. And I believe that Dame is capable of that. And I'm excited to watch it. I mean, we're a week away from the playoffs. It's exciting.
When I tell you a player got a double-double, what do you think? Is that noteworthy? Is that a thing? Is it like
not anymore?
No, is it like 1,000 yards in the NFL for a running back? I mean, it still kind of matters, but a double-double, I mean, in the modern NBA, freedom of movement, getting double, if you're a starter and you're playing reasonable minutes, 10 points and 10 of rebounds, obviously, but the others are probably less likely. But 10 and 10, that's That should be pretty much a consistent thing, right?
I think that, correct me if you disagree as a basketball purist, if you're among the, let's call it, three most involved players on your team, you should score 10 points without breaking a sweat. Like that leg of the double-double is the most, easy to obtain.
And maybe I should quantify this for a big man.
If
a
you're a
double-double with points
big-
and rebounds. I mean, just doing your job.
That's a normal night at work. I mean, if you're not, and at the very least, if it's like you didn't get a double-double, you need to be at like whatever a 9. It needed to be something where it's like there were a couple weird bounces. You know what I mean? You only played 28 minutes or whatever. But yeah, if it's a normal night, you better be fielding a double-double.
And keep in mind, there's a huge difference between averaging a double-double and getting a double-double every night. I mean, it's the difference between median and average. There's a difference. And the reason I brought this up is I think averaging a double-double in the NBA as a starting 5 of moderate to good talent should be, if you're not, you probably shouldn't be a starter. But getting a double-double every night is a very different thing. Every night. And the streak is broken. Young Sabonis up there in Sacramento went 61 consecutive games of scoring points and rebounds, double-double. That is a remarkable stat.
It's not quite 20 assists in like a 400 straight games or anything like that, but it is pretty legit. I do think, Rob, that you need to, at least address the plank in your own eye, because as Brian points out in the Brigade Bar, you got mad at Trey Jones for recording a triple-double.
No, I did not get mad at him. Let's backtrack. What I said is sometimes Russell Westbrook got triple-doubles because they were manufactured. And then sometimes you get a triple-double because you took and did some things that you probably were not supposed to do. And you did a lot of no, oh, good shot things. When you get and then there are triple-doubles that are done on your back. What happened in that game specifically was there were some things that some shots that Trey took that Wemby probably should have taken. And there were some no, oh, nice. And congratulations for sure. But understand your role in the team as you go and get it. That was my point when we discussed this.
Disrespect, man. Then. You just cannot give this dude
his credit,
a modicum of
I'm
props.
going to give him a bunch of props right now. Of all the regulars, it's just he and Wemby, and they are 5-3 in their last 8. I didn't even know that. You pointed that earlier. It's hard for me to even fathom that in their last 8, the Spurs are 5-3 and have just tied and they're far better than their record. Today, they're far better. Now, last night they beat a G League team, but there's a lot of G League teams running around in the league right now.
I mean,
us included.
I think you're being a teeny bit harsh on Memphis, but still, I mean, a win is a win is a win is a win. Yeah. And this 8-game stretch that obviously includes 5 wins started with the win over Phoenix that nobody saw coming, the Wemby-less win, after they got smoked by them with Wemby. So, by the way, this whole streak started after Pledge and I went to that game.
See?
so Pledge and I went.
You matter.
And just, we're just this kiss of good luck. But so even if you want to, so the Memphis win, the Phoenix win was really impressive. I wouldn't say the Utah win was impressive, but the Knicks win was like the win of the season.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, and then the New Orleans one was quality as well. And even this 8-game stretch, they lost that double overtime game to Philly. Like they could have very easily won that game as well. We could be talking about a 6-2 stretch. It's clearly their most successful 8-game stretch of the season. I mean, we are seeing their peak form, and it's now a very legitimate sample size. And I know we laughed early on throughout it, but it's enough to say maybe Keldon, maybe Jeremy, maybe Devin, like pick whichever one you want to have the conversation about. Maybe this team is now greater than the sum of its parts.
Thank you. I think we are finally rounding the bend. And to prove the negative, if it comes down to Sunday for the Spurs to get that 21st win, to separate themselves from the truly infamous.
To be clear, we think it will, because
I think
Oklahoma
it will.
City tonight, Denver Friday.
It's going to be a little tough before we get to Sunday. But to prove the point and to catapult Victor not only into the Defensive Player of the Year, but into the future MVP, because they always talk about you earned it the year before. I put it to Pop and Brian Wright. I want you to ship the team from Austin down to San Antonio. And let's let Wemby and the Austinites take on the Pistons to prove a point that not only will he have 8 blocks, 9 blocks, 10 blocks, that he's the best defensive player in the NBA in the world right now, but also has a valid point for MVP because he alone will beat the Detroit Pistons by himself. Because a guy with a pulse will beat the Pistons on Sunday, the last day of the year, the last day of the season, for literally the worst basketball team to exist in the last decade. So bring the Austin Spurs. We'll wear their uniform.
I don't want to sign up for that.
I'm telling you, you want to talk about a carnival environment. This would be new. Wemby and the B team versus any of y'all. The gauntlet's down, baby. I want it to be for all the marbles, too. The 21st win that Wemby alone will secure. He and City Sissoko, some dude with a man bun, and a couple of African dudes, I can't say their names. They will secure their place in history.
I don't want the Austin Spurs version of what you're describing here, and I would never root for the Spurs to lose, but I am kind of rooting for the drama of Sunday being for 21, right? I mean, and
just ridiculous drama.
I'm happy that we have protected ourselves enough to where we've got 20, right? Like we don't have to worry about this anymore. What time is tip off? That's what I was trying to check.
It's mid-afternoon. There's a conflict with the Brahmas.
Well, and the Masters.
Well, there is that.
I mean,
so it'd be kind of a difficult choice.
So again, not rooting for the Spurs to lose, but I want the drama of truly. I don't know if you could call it win or go home. It's more like go home or go home a little bit more upset. You know what I mean?
This sucks so bad. I never want to be here again. I never want to sit at the April the 10th and be giggling about, we might get to 21. God, this just bites.
I mean, it would be entertaining and incredible theater if it's you win. No one will ever remember this. You lose, you are associated with the worst team ever. You kiss your sister, as Rob Thompson has an obsession with saying. So I want to see that. I want to see that happen. So again, not rooting for losses, but if they lose tonight and on Friday, I'm not too bummed. Is kind of where I'm at.
Brian, we saw you. Let's give Mamu some credit. The dude hustles like a madman. I'll give him. That dude runs at 11. Runs a little hot. But active night last night as the Spurs take a win. Let's see what they do against Shea Gilgeous and that other tall dude. That duet, that commercial. Let's hope a stake has been driven into the cassette. Notice I said cassette. Whatever the tangible thing is that has been saved on. Let's stab it to death if I hear them sing again. Hey, coming back. I liked him before. He likes us. Let's talk about the Spurs possibilities coming up in the draft. I'm all for a 7'5" guy who lost in a championship. There's a guard up in Kentucky that might be staying for him. No, he's coming. Rob Dillingham spoke to the Spurs. Let's talk about draft potential, and let me prove a point yet again that the Spurs need to go big. We'll look around the rest of the league as well as the playoff seedings are in jeopardy. We had a preview of a play-in in LA and Golden State. NBA talk coming. Stay here. You're on 94.1. This is San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are live out at the Big Blind. It's like being in Vegas all over again.
Let's just hope your result is better in that tournament tonight than it was in Las Vegas. Of course, it's a Wednesday. That means Wednesdays with Wade. Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, will join us at 4:35 and will react to last night's Spurs game.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyer4us.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyer4us.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyer4us.com.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest styles with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, your joint pain keeping you from doing what you love, then you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics using your own body's power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call now to learn more about some exciting options in this revolutionary approach to get you long-term relief with no downtime. So what are you waiting for? Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states.
This is Andrew Monaco and the Aggies play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. Let's give away some tickets. It is Niosa, not Neosa. I think that debate is long past, but it is coming around the corner as Fiesta is almost here. You want a pair of tickets to go hang out with the coolest folks downtown, eating churros and fresh tortillas and icy cold beer there in Frontierland? Get on the phone, 656-3776, 656-ESPN, caller number 6. You're going to be going to Niosa. Hopefully, I'll be out there with y'all on the night you're there. A couple tickets to go to one of the premier events in the entire world, certainly one of the primary events of our great Fiesta season. You want to go, be caller number 6 to our normal number, 656-3776. What's your favorite Fiesta event of note, RJ?
That one.
Sure. Heights night, too.
Yeah.
I've got some Alamo Heights night tickets I'm going to give away in the 9 o'clock hour. If I was you, I'd be here about 9:15 if I was you.
Well, I'll be here. So.
Yeah. As the tournament has gone on, I've always viewed it as kind of like a crucible. Those that are on teams that are playing toward a title and play well on that team always look better to me at the NBA draft than those that didn't make it to the tournament or played great in the regular season, but not so much in the playoffs or the tournament. And Rob Dillingham falls into that category. He's a guy who's got a world of talent. He's at Kentucky. He just lost his coach.
You forgot about him.
Who, Cal?
No, you forgot about Rob.
Oh, Dillingham? No,
Zach
he has a lot of talent. So does his running mate. Dillingham, probably a more natural bucket getter, a more natural of a downhill guy. Certainly a scorer. Or Reed Shepherd, his running mate, a better shooter probably. More likely control point guard, whereas Dillingham would be kind of a downhill swing type. But I like them both. I don't want to distract, but as the tournament went on, my eyes went elsewhere. This is Rob Dillingham talking about the Spurs.
I mean, it would be amazing because there's nothing he can't do. So playing with him, it's like if he has the ball in his hands, two people got to guard him. So
right.
Really playing with the whole team and learning from Popovich, the whole team, and playing with Wemby, I feel like it would be an amazing opportunity for sure.
Of course, he's going to say that. What would you draft? You don't have to say the player, but the type.
I am fine pursuing a big to get some work off of Wemby's plate. I don't need that to be Zach Edey, but I need fast, quick, agile shooting guards. That's what I need. I need. I mean, and I don't mean that literally. I mean guards who can shoot. I mean, because we need people who can score. We need people who can score from the outside. I'm not worried about the paint. I really am not. Victor Wembanyama is on this team. So if anything is in his spider web of reach, it's okay. But we need people who can work the perimeter. And that's what I want more than anything.
I think that's a valid opinion because why reinforce an already reinforced wall? We got holes elsewhere that need to be fixed. We've already got a guy that's blocking shots right and left. And by every measure, the defensive player of the year, why give him help? And I buy that. But you're going to have to prove to me as these other guys that they're worthy of not doing that. And I like Dillingham up until one game. But that one game showed me that he's a young guy. And the time frame that I'm looking at with the Spurs has kind of expedited to the point, well, I don't know if I have time to wait for you. And I know that turnovers are already a problem for us. And you are kind of a walking turnover in college. I can't imagine what a pro defense will do to you. Reed Shepherd on the other side of this, his other guard, offers what is my second most needed property in the draft, and that's shooting. The guy proved that he'll get you a bucket and left alone. Well, there'll be a lot of them, and the comparisons across the league are pretty good. And guys like that tend to stick. Guys like the way he plays, he's never going to do anything dumb. He might not do enough to stay on the court, but he's not going to do anything stupid to get him yanked. So I like that idea.
It's really difficult to find an idea, I think, that anybody doesn't like. And that's what's exciting, but that's also what's really terrifying because the Spurs need everything, right? I mean, they need everything around Wemby. Like, name the place you're good. Name the place you'd be like, nah, I'm fine. And no, you can't.
Our point guard in Trey Jones. No. absolutely right. And even there's not a single position I'm set on. But I know that one of them is filled. I just don't know how I'm going to fill it. He's either a 3 or a 5. You know what I mean? So whatever we want to define him, the other 4 I'm unsettled on.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever you decide, first of all, it doesn't inhibit you from doing anything. But second of all, also depends on a game-by-game basis, right? Like you're not sticking him one place and then building, this, black and white team, where this, fully position-defined basketball. This is positionless basketball. That's the world that Wemby has now created for you to live in. So you have to have options everywhere. And so I think this is the best path as far as, where to put the majority of your resources this particular offseason. But I mean, you have to hit no matter what. Like, that's the most important thing. Like, these can't be misses. These can't be, an infatuation with Zach Edey and you try a project and it all falls apart. Then you're even further behind the 8 ball.
If you're looking for a draft pick, who do you like? 656-3776, 656 ESPN. That's the number to dial. You can speak it. You can text it. Let's see. Who do we got on there? Art dialed him. Welcome on the show, Art. We're glad you're here.
Hey, everybody in San Antonio and South Texas knows San Antonio Spurs need to draft Fighting Texas Aggie point guard, all SEC first team, Wade Taylor IV. Period. Dot. Gig 'em. Woo.
Hey, I think he's an NBA guard. I do, but I think he's a second round free agent type, tough as nails guard. He got the offense. I'd love to see him get there. He ain't a Spur. Love him. I mean, let's be real. But I appreciate the love. Who would you take, though? I do want to see some on the scroll. I mean, legit, we're getting close. It's now to focus on that. And sadly, whatever we see for the next couple of days really doesn't reflect the true needs of the team other than the bench guys. Young Shed, that's another guy. A point guard, I'm more about position. Now, I will trust in the eyes of the scouts. You tell me the one you think would best fit your offense. But tell me the position. Is it a point guard? Is it a shooting guy? Is it someone that can swing through? Is it a guy that'll live in the paint and take some pressure off of Victor, which is but I can certainly understand the others who say shooting to provide the space. That Connect kid from Tennessee sure does look good, and you certainly would. Drafted it for 4 or 5, that would be nice. Or maybe there's another long running mate, a 7'1" French kid that would. I could be convinced otherwise. But I'll tell you, a bruiser in the paint
I think
certainly looks nice to me.
The answer is a guard who can score. You need people who can work the outside, and that can be Wemby at times, but you need that on a consistent basis. All hail Trey Jones, obviously. But you really need somebody that you can rely on a game-by-game basis. Don't have that right now.
One of the things that's fun to watch, and we'll see it again tonight, is when we don't have those other scorers that we can rely on, like Devin posting over on the edge and Keldon getting out on the edge and dribbling in. That when Victor or even Mamu last night, whoever the big is, at least those two, are allowed to grab the rebound and get down court. They are the ball control. They're the lead, the fast break. There's no outlet passing. So as soon as the other guards, and with both those guys, there's always 2 guards on the court with them. There, because Victor, while he's still handling the ball, isn't really the guard on the roster. But they have these 2 guards. And normally it was Blake and Malachi last night, though Devontae Graham played a role in it too. I loved watching this inverse high pick and roll where Wemby has the ball. He gets the pick from either of the guards, and whoever gets that pick, they're diving toward the rim. And Wemby kind of drops it over the top of the defender because Victor looks down on the entire league. It's a brilliant play. And it's one of those things we didn't see very often when we saw the other dudes, because the other dudes had to get theirs. The 3 and all the offense was structured for those guys. And when they've been gone, we get this kind of free roaming stuff that allows Victor to do some things that, quite frankly, he didn't want to, nor was he allowed to do with the other guys. And it's fun. It's a good fun that won't work against everybody, but against, the Memphis Cubs, it works.
It's something to have in your arsenal, I suppose, an ability that you can deploy if you need to, but you can't thrive off of that. I mean,
until they tell me they can stop Dillingham fits that mold, man. A guy like Dillingham would thrive in that. That only has to handle the ball a third of the time, can attack the rim like a two guard, but has the one skills. He would thrive in that. You could see that offense working with a kid like that. What do you guys think? Easy to get there. We got to talk some injuries here in just about 15 minutes with Dr. Jason Garrett. He will arrive and we'll look directly at elbows and ankles and muscles and calves. What's the name of the muscle?
The left soleus.
The soleus. Use that to warm up your mic. Hey, just around the bend. Is CeeDee Lamb going to arrive sooner or later? I say this. Jerry going to sign him, and it's going to be sooner. We'll get you an update on CeeDee Lamb and this situation, all from the man that is Adam Schefter. Hold on tight. We're talking the league and the boys next. This is the Morning Huddle, and you are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, one of the best things about your day should be the shower you stepped into to start it or end it. Because if it's got a Kinetico behind it, it's nice, soft water taking care of you and your family. You know, I hear Dave Ramsey on the radio all the time talking about his Kinetico, and he talks about quality. You know, how hard it is to get your dollar's value. And sometimes you buy stuff that's just crap. Some of it's just enough. And then there's the quality that lasts you a long time. And that's Kinetico. Who else would say this is the last water softener you're ever going to own and then back it up with a 10-year warranty, ironclad, take care of you? That's what Kinetico has done. So if you're worried about quality, don't worry about that. You probably don't have it with what you got now. And if you don't have a Kinetico, man, oh man, call 656-PURE today. Go to KineticoSA.com for the details. But for the next 90 days, you can have a Kinetico in your home and to have them prove it to you, the quality, the workmanship, and everything that goes along with something that we endorse here on the Star. I'll tell you what, Dave Ramsey, that's enough for me. I'll tell you, you can call them today at 656-PURE. Get a Kinetico in your home, and you can thank me later. But maybe Dave Ramsey too.
It's the 2024 NFL Draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're the 24th pick. The Dallas Cowboys select
April 25th, 26th, and 27th. Join 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star for this year's NFL Draft. Live from Detroit.
I love the tenacity and the aggression with which he plays. He is a mauler.
Who do the Cowboys and Texans pick? Does Jerry make a splash? Who goes number one? And who's the next Mr. Irrelevant?
the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud.
You don't ever want to pass on the guy you ought to be taking there, but still be position
I
select.
thought Sauce Gardner would be the first corner, but you go back to 2019, and that version of Derek Stingley is as good as anybody in this entire draft class.
Find out right here on your exclusive home for the NFL Draft. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome this Sunday as they take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let's pack the dome and join the herd in the best seats at the best prices, now starting at $15.50. Led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips and quarterback Chase Garbers. Experience the excitement. Head to theUFL.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. It's the Brahmas versus the Battlehawks Sunday. Kickoff in the Dome is at 2. Get your tickets now at theUFL.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready for grilling season with the ultimate burger perfection flight for just $89.99 when you shop omahasteaks.com and use promo code SIZZLE at checkout. That's 24 rich and juicy Omaha Steaks pure ground burgers. They're guaranteed to deliver an explosive combination of tenderness, juiciness, and unmatched quality. Each 6-ounce burger is guaranteed to satisfy with every bite. That's omahasteaks.com, SIZZLE at checkout to unlock this exclusive deal. Hurry, supplies are limited.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Minix here from the Blitz starting at 2 o'clock today. We will be live out at the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road, reacting to last night's Spurs game. Plus, we'll talk with Wade Phillips, Wednesdays with Wade, as we visit with the head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. Rob, is that really your comb you left in the studio?
Yes.
But he doesn't use it for what you think.
I hope you didn't touch it. It's the Morninng Huddle, well combed as always. That's RJ. I'm Rob. We're glad you're here today. Spurs playing tonight to see if they can get one against Oklahoma City. I'm looking at a mock draft, and we were talking about those two guards, Shepard and Dillingham. Well, they have the Spurs taking the French kid, that Sarr kid, which, 7'1", guy can run like a deer. And in about 4 years, he's going to be really good. But right on either side of the draft pick, they had Dillingham going before to the Wiz, and then Shepard going right after. Spurs taking
so a nice little sandwich.
Kid. Yeah, so I'm just saying the guys we were talking about might actually be there. All right, so it is now when Adam Schefter speaks, everybody kind of pays attention. And the Cowboys are always a topic of conversation, no matter where you are and who you're with. Looks like the Cowboys might be shopping for a quarterback in the draft, and that's its own story, but it affects this story with CeeDee Lamb. Because if they're going to draft a quarterback, that's a whole other ramification for another guy that's going to eventually have to be paid or released or whatever. But CeeDee Lamb seems to me to be the lowest hanging fruit for Jerry Jones to go get himself a win. Go get yourself a road win. Have a little success. It might cost you a little bit extra. You might have to spend up. But at least it'll get you somebody that you can walk out to your fandom and your coaches and your fellow players that are under contract and say, well, this is it. Look, here he is. There is a plan. But yet, it just seems like we're as far away from that as Dak getting a deal. What's the status with CD?
CD is coming off of literally the greatest statistical season that any wide receiver has ever had in Dallas Cowboys franchise history. Now, he had a 17th game, so you could certainly include that, but he broke the record in the 16th one against the Lions, obviously, that had that big 91-yard touchdown, which went a long way from the yardage standpoint. But he was basically forced to wear number 88, right? He was basically forced into the, legacy of Dallas Cowboys wide receiverdom. He is a superstar talent. He's an ascending player. You're right. I mean, they've never had any issues with him. This is pretty simple. And unlike Micah and Dak, because the other best players at their respective positions have already recently gotten contracts, CD plays a position where the market is just now about to really explode because Justin Jefferson needs to get paid. Jamar Chase needs to get paid. Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk. We could go on and on and on and on. All right. You have a chance to be at the forefront of this market where you're not at quarterback and pass rusher. Everything makes sense for you to do this. But here we sit. Dragon.
I just feel it in my bones, man, that it's coming. That Jerry's been on his boat, that, this is almost, it might be right after the draft. He might be waiting to see what happens in the draft, to see if something weird happens and somebody gives him a crazy ass offer and Marvin Harrison Jr. shows up or whatever it might be. But it's going to happen. That has to be the first domino to fall because it's the easiest. And if it's Jerry, then do the easy thing, man. Give us something.
They haven't given us anything, Rob. I mean, why do you expect them to give us anything? Why? I mean,
well, eventually he's going to have to do something because, we talk about all these expiring contracts. We don't even bring up Zach Martin. We talk about everybody else. You have to pay.
Well, they got pushed by him last year.
Right.
They got pushed. He held out. And what's to say that CD doesn't hold out or that Micah doesn't hold out or whatever? Any of those things are possible.
Let's talk some injuries real quick because it's Wednesday and it's time for his house call. He is Dr. Jason Garrett. He comes to us via Arasti every week as we look at injuries and how your favorite players are going to get themselves back in the game. Morning, Doc.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, man, not a lot. Let's talk. What's the muscle? Last night, if you're paying any attention to a basketball game that was over in just exactly amount of time as it was allotted by the numbers, only 2 free throws shot in the entirety. It might have tired out the freak. He limped off with what's the name of the muscle?
Doc, it is a left soleus strain that we are very confused by.
What is that?
All right, so that is the thick muscle underneath the gastroc or the big ball muscle on your calf.
Like high behind your knee? Okay.
Yeah, so it's called soleus because it's Latin for fish, and so it's fish-shaped. It basically turns into your Achilles tendon. So your gastroc and your soleus combine and turn into your Achilles tendon at your heel. And so it's like a thick muscle. It's more for posture, not for explosiveness, more for endurance, but it's easy to pull. And sometimes that can be a precursor to an Achilles issue. So it's definitely something you want to take very seriously.
Dame Lillard had the same injury, and they both spoke of the way that it feels weird. And then when you put your foot down, it feels like it can't support the weight. It's a very frightening injury. If it's not, it feels worse than the severity that there actually is, right?
Yeah. And the bad thing about this particular muscle is it usually feels pretty good pretty quickly. And so then you go test it and it completely unravels and you put yourself 2 to 4 weeks further back. So it's not something you want to rush back. Even if you feel pretty good, you want to make sure you're fully 100%, maybe even give yourself a week or 2 longer before you come back just to make sure.
Doc, it's the week of the Masters and Tiger spoke yesterday and obviously the whole world pauses to listen to what he has to say. And he mentioned that he's in pain constantly. And he mentioned something that I had never really thought about this way. He said that every shot that isn't on the tee for him is so difficult. And I think a lot of people think of golf as this recreational sport for themselves. I mean, is it just the undulations? Is it just the constant walking? I mean, what could be the wear and tear that obviously he deals with on a round by round basis in your estimation?
Well, he's had at least 4 knee surgeries from his Navy SEAL training. He's had neck issues, back issues. He's had his lower leg completely reconstructed, wrist issues. And so all these things pile up over time and each one builds on the next. You end up, every time you get cut into, you do get some chronic pain. And chronic pain is basically your brain has rewired itself to say, hey, this area is injured. We're going to make you aware of it forever so you don't make it worse. And so it's a constant aggravation. And then when you combine that with a very violent movement, rotating, potentially hitting the ground. If it's not on a tee, he's more than likely taking a divot. So he's impacting the ground. All that shock just gets absorbed through the entire body. You're turning through your knee, your spine, your neck, your shoulder. There's really not anything about it that's not going to hurt when he's putting himself up.
Dr. Jason Garrett of Veracity. He's here every week telling us how to get ourselves out of pain and getting players back. Now, I'm reading a list of baseball pitches. It's my injury update report. And it starts with Framber Valdez. It goes on to, let's see here. We got White Sox, Luis Robert, Yuri Perez. All of these they're all elbows, all of them. And we're a week into the season. The Major League Players Association, the MLBPA, is saying it's the pitch clock, man. It's wearing our pitchers out. I know we don't have a huge sample size, but I know the Major League Baseball said we got a report that says there's no difference. What do you think about the pitch clock and its effect on the tendons, and what is baseball to do with this?
That's a great question. I really don't have a good opinion on this. If the statistics show that people are having more elbow injuries and they can correlate it to a shorter rest time between pitches, then maybe. But I mean, ultimately, they're not being forced to pitch at an unreasonable time frame as far as the muscles are concerned. So I would think this is probably more coincidence than anything else, and they're looking for a reason to complain about it because it's a rule they didn't want to have, and it impacts their pitchers, and pitchers are all pretty neurotic, and all head cases. So until there's more evidence out, I wouldn't blame it on the pitch count.
Doc, I want to go back to the Masters. If it isn't obvious, it's just all that my brain is consumed by right now. And I don't know if you caught the end of the Valero, how Akshay Bhatia threw out his shoulder or whatever, and then had to have it redone and taped up. He's incredibly young. I mean, he's 22 years old, but I have to imagine that less than a week later, the most important golf tournament of your life, you would not, I mean, I guess the layman's terms would be you're not 100%, or can you possibly be?
Yeah, I watched that live. It was one of the most amazing tournament finishes I've ever seen. It was disappointing how it finally ended, but at least he hit a great shot. So, to finish off the round, he did not dislocate his shoulder. He had a pop. He has, obviously, if you look at him the way he's built, 6'1", 127 pounds, maybe he has zero muscle supporting those shoulders. And so he probably popped the tendon, and by popped, I don't mean tore. I mean, it just kind of rolled over itself, caused some pain, probably something he's dealing with. He obviously had this taped up before. Trainer comes out, put some tape on it. The announcers, I was very disappointed and irritated with them when they were trying to reinforce the drama, saying he dislocated his shoulder. He did not dislocate his shoulder. You don't dislocate your shoulder, then hit a 300-yard bomb, then hit a nice layup, then get it taped up, and then throw a dart to 3 feet and make birdie. So he did not dislocate his shoulder. I would be shocked if he's not pretty much 95 to 100% this week. I'm not worried about him at all.
But a ridiculous story made better by a deeper injury. But given the week, what is he doing? I mean, obviously it's got to hurt a little bit between then and now.
Yeah, the fact that, so you look at injuries, like a real injury is something you hurt it, you're immediately immobilized, you can't do it. If you irritated something, maybe strained something, but you can still compete and still swing and perform, it's not really an injury, it's more an irritation that you can manage pretty well with manual therapy, maybe with some anti-inflammatory oral medication like Advil. It's really at 22 years old, you're going to heal pretty fast. I don't imagine he's probably hard partying, judging by his weight. He's probably not drinking a whole lot. So I don't think he's going to be limited by his ability to recover. I think he'll be totally fine. There's not a whole lot to do. Just do some manual therapy, some stretching, and hit some balls.
He is Dr. Jason Garrett of Veracity, a renowned sportsman, a man of note. You played Augusta. Thoughts on the course?
If I ever get a chance to go back there again, I will sell any part of my body. I will borrow, beg, and steal to get back out there. It was a religious experience. You could have shot me on the 18th green when I birdied number 18, and I had a 6.
Oh, you had to drop that. Birdie on the 18th. Yeah, all right.
You could literally, I birdied 13 and 18 coming in. I played twice in 2 days. It was the most religious experience I've ever experienced from a sporting standpoint.
Hold up, Doc. You birdie 13. Were you on in 2? I just need to know the details. Of
yeah, here we go.
Yep. All right, so I hit my tee shot into the pine straw, same place Nicholson and Nicholas hit from. Hit a cut 4-iron from 230, ended 8 feet from the hole, missed the putt by an inch, and had a tap-in birdie. Missed the eagle putt just by an inch.
You would have had some crystal. I mean, but birdie's hard to be mad at.
I was pretty happy even with the birdie.
So that was 13. If it wasn't for the near eagle and birdie, what's the hole that you'll never forget?
Probably number 12, the par 3.
Uh-huh.
It is a little short par 3, and it is so hard to hit that green. And I got to play it the way. So the second round I played it, I landed right in the middle of the green, spun it back off the green into the water, then had to do the layup approach shot, got up and down for bogey. And so I was pretty excited about that.
I'm trying to remember who had that rolled into the water. But I'm
Everybody
sure
in
I've seen a few.
2019.
I've seen a few that's doing it. He is Dr. Jason Garrett of Veracity. Yes, he has played Augusta and done many other fine things. It's always a pleasure for him to stop by. Thanks for all the insight, Doc. Take care of yourself, and congratulations on a birdie in Augusta.
Thanks, guys.
2.
Yeah, that's right. 2 of them. Yeah, he's been there, done that. I wish we got the contest today. It starts at noon. Remember, we got all your updates all week long as the Masters goes. We will keep you up to date. You can go to sasportstar.com for all the deets. We'll have the updates and the running tabs as they get going. As the par 3 gets going today, Tiger going off tomorrow. It looks like about 12:24, something like that. Was he? Who was he up there with? Hoka, Homa,
Max Homa,
and
actually the third name escapes me. That's not my favorite group, honestly.
Well, it's kind of, I appreciate that they gave him an afternoon start. You know, he talked,
but then he'll be off in the morning on Friday.
Well, I mean, he talked about yesterday. I love hearing the fact, and I hate it at the same time, but it's just a fact that we're all getting old. Tiger yesterday talked about what it's like to reach a certain age.
I hurt every day. So yes, I ache. No, I ache every day, and I prefer it warm and humid and hot. And I know we're getting some thunderstorms, so at least it'll be hot. It won't be like last year.
Tiger Woods, he was in a gray sweater that, man, I like the new brand. I will own some of your swag, Tiger. I will. I'll buy some. But
Jason Day is the third member.
Well, that's a good pairing. I like that. But the logo where it looks like he got a sweater on backwards, man. It looks like you're wearing your shirt the wrong way.
Dude, I mean, Tiger can
be real. Tell me the truth. Tell me you didn't think that.
He could walk out with vomit on his sweater, and
I don't disagree with that. But you got to be real. It looked like he got dressed in the dark.
I do want to say that I appreciated how annoyed Dr. Garrett was with the broadcast improperly describing Akshay's shoulder situation as a dislocation. We've all been there. We've all been like, this is wrong. Quit saying it. It's stupid.
But it made the drama that much better. No. I missed that because I was paying attention to Caitlin C. and everybody else was too. Coming back, the numbers are in. And where are the advertising dollars going to go now? Is there enough for everybody? Because you're going to need some. A NBA TV package, you're going to need a bigger boat. The ladies have the lead. Let's look at what happened in the college world. We'll carry on. We'll talk about it next here on the Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with Robin RJ. Okay, Camper, ride the jump. Morning 6 to 10, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
You got a 10-year-old vet, but really these convertibles bring more when they're automatics. And why? Do you know why, Dave?
So the women can drive them, yes, sir.
There you go. So the women can drive. Not that a woman can't drive a stick. It's just not comfortable. Is that misogynistic?
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Misogyny.
Yeah. Well,
I'll call you Eminem.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, it's Jason Minix from The Blitz. Did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Progressive presents advice on new teen drivers.
You know, the hardest part about teaching your teen to drive is the chafing
from the seatbelt. But the best part is the grip strength you build in your knuckles. Okay, now let's pull out of the driveway.
Here's another tip. Offset a chunk of the cost of adding a teen to your insurance with Progressive's Teen Driver Discount and get a break from the brake. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports fantasy act. 3 million players. Yes, I'm a member. You should be too. Download it now and remember the code Alamo, and you can get a deposit match of up to $100. Basketball is balling, baby. Football is coming. Baseball is swinging. It is time to go to Prize Picks because you put your fantasy knowledge into action. You know more. You know your less. You know who's better or not. You know what's going on. You're a fantasy player. Put that knowledge to work. I have, along with so many others. And right now, remember the code Alamo, and you can get $100 deposit match right now. Go download Prize Picks. We love watching Connor McDavid, Jude Bellingham, LeBron James. They are playing go more or less. It's so easy to do, and now's the time to go. You know when it's more, you know when it's less, and when you pair them together, you can win big bucks, up to 100 times your money. More, less, Prize Picks, Alamo. Go there.
Are you ready to party with a purpose? Taste of the Northside is Thursday, April 18th at the beautiful Security Service Event Center. This elevated fiesta event for foodies includes on-site covered parking, entertainment, unlimited tastings from over 30 premier restaurants, countless curated wines and craft beers, hosted by Brighton Center, presented by HEB. Purchase tickets at tasteofthenorthside.org. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center, the largest nonprofit in San Antonio, serving children with disabilities through pediatric therapy and education initiatives.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stopped. Opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Breaking news from the NFL. It appears the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles will open the NFL season in Sao Paulo, Brazil on September the 5th. It'll be a Friday game. It'll be the first Friday opening game in 50 years, and it'll be in Brazil. Spurs won last night in Memphis. They're in Oklahoma City tonight to see if they can get to 21 wins on the season.
Wembanyama three, good! Goes behind the back here. Oh! Little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama. Drive. Oh, it's knocked away by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. With Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Here we are. Gather round. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. If you missed the previous 3 hours, man, where you been? We're glad you're here, though. You can go to sasportstar.com at any point in your busy lifestyle and catch up on all things live here at the Star. Click on the What's Appropriate. You can also be watching us live on our YouTube feed. We hope you are. If you are, you could look and see the photo behind RJ's right shoulder of one number 22. He's a Dallas Cowboy. Wish there was one of those guys in the upcoming draft. We're going to talk Cowboys in a minute. Make our Masters picks in preparation here. In about 45 minutes, I think we will be in a place to make our picks. We're going to look at the Spurs and what they did, but let's look at the world of college basketball. It's certainly not amateur hour anymore. Millions and millions are watching. The ladies set a record several times. That Friday before the championship game had its own peculiar records. In particular, Sunday set all kinds of records for the ladies, 24 million total, average of 18. That weekend for the ladies, it was the most watched college basketball game of any sort on ESPN for upwards of 5 years. The championship game was a monumental draw. And at the end of the day, the ladies tournament had better, bigger TV ratings than the men. And the men weren't bad. The men had a good year. It wasn't underwatched by any measure. It just was, there was another product that people were paying attention to as well.
We got to know the, if you want to call it, like, look at this like a TV show. We got to know the characters of the women's tournament so well over the course of the regular season. And I don't know anybody who's a moderate sports fan who wasn't aware of Caitlin Clark and her story. And so that's a really, I think, big thing that's happening here, in addition to the fact that they're so talented and that the games were so riveting. We had the controversy between Iowa and UConn that I think, kind of kickstarted a bit of momentum. We obviously also had, a lot of elite teams. I mean, and blue bloods. I mean, you had South Carolina involved and Don Staley in this impressive feat that they were going for and ultimately accomplished. And you also had that this game was on basic general television and ABC, whereas the men's championship game. Yeah, I mean, I don't say that to take away from this reality, but the men's national championship was on TNT, and that's, not everybody has that. And that is a challenge that CBS and their company understands by putting the game there, but that's just kind of business for them on some level.
It's going to make for a very interesting advertising buy over the next couple of years. Things are set in stone, and we not in stone, but they're set for the next several. And men's college basketball certainly still will reign supreme as far as where the dollars go. But if this trend continues, it'll be interesting to see how, first of all, because Caitlin's going to move on. And I wonder if this kind of escalated viewership with college will follow her. The draft just around the corner. I've got a massive WNBA draft packet in front of me that I'm going to try to digest over the weekend to give some idea what's coming. And even this is unprecedented for me in the media business. I have a complete draft package for the WNBA and what matters.
And you felt no shame in printing all 4,000 pages of it. Just boom. That's you drop that, and there's reverberations in the room. You know what I mean?
It could stop a bullet. There's all kinds of use. It is a monster packet. It's really kind of large, but it just kind of goes to show with where we are, and it's a good place to be. I watched compelling, competitive, great basketball. There's a lot of missed layups, but other than that,
I mean, I don't think there's any question that the more riveting games, and maybe some of this, if we're just dissecting all, elements of what's involved here, did Purdue or UConn play a close game at any point in the tournament?
Not until.
No. Right. I mean, even the title game was pretty boring. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was so chalk, and there's pleasantry to chalk, but there's also chalk to chalk. I mean, so it felt really predictable. Whereas the women's tournament, obviously so many people were rooting for Caitlin or just tuned in to see what was going to happen. But I mean, she had to go through gauntlets, just to get to the title game. And obviously they weren't able to get over that final one, but there was a lot more, I think, competition. There was closer competition on the women's side to where everything felt possible. Whereas that didn't really feel like the case on the men's side. It felt like and we talked about this before the tournament even started. It was such a year of weirdness that you didn't know exactly what you were going to get. And I think that vibe percolated throughout the whole thing.
In other college basketball news, she was named to the Hall of Fame just over the weekend. And with that, Tara Vanderveer bids the NCAA goodbye. She's retiring at the age of 70, 38 seasons at Stanford, 3 national championships, certainly a legend. And all she did for the game. Congratulations, Tara, on Coach Vanderveer. What an extraordinary career. She says goodbye to the league. We really didn't talk a lot about the Hall of Fame. It's pretty traditional there on that Sunday or Saturday to announce the Basketball Hall of Fame going in, and Walter Davis and Chauncey Billups and the likes are in. So congratulations to all those involved. We talked a little bit about the men and the draw that they were. The significant change over the weekend is John Calipari is headed to Arkansas, though not officially done at Kentucky. He's still kind of under contract. There's this whole buyout thing they're going to have to deal with. But John, first, did you follow the sequence of events yesterday, RJ, on how he offered us his goodbye video? So he's a guy my age. He doesn't know a lot of stuff, but he was told by his people, you're going to have to give your fans and your haters a goodbye video. So he set up his phone in the dark, stepped way far away, and talked in a whisper. We couldn't see him or hear him, but we thought he had said goodbye. We couldn't tell. And then about 4 hours later, a much better produced video came out where John is saying goodbye. This is Calipari talking about his time with Big Blue.
Since our season ended, Ellen and I have spent a lot of time thinking about our time here at Kentucky, what it means to us, the friends we've made on that court, regional championships, conference championships, Final Fours, the national title in 2012. It's been a beautiful time for us. This is a dream job. It was my dream job. Anybody in our profession looks at the University of Kentucky in basketball and said, that is the bluest of blue. The last few weeks, we've come to realize that this program probably needs to hear another voice, that the university as a whole has to have another voice giving guidance about this program that they hear. And the fans need to hear another voice. We've loved it here, but we think it's time for us to step away completely from the program. There have been opportunities that have been presented to us, so we're discussing them as a family.
The most of which is we call it the Tyson chicken money. We're going to discuss as a family. He's headed to Arkansas. It is no secret, and he's right. Everything he says is true.
I just think leaning on the national championship is it's a national championship. And I don't mean to, poo-poo it by any stretch. It is so old at this moment in time.
12 years ago. Yeah.
It is so old. You've got players from that team who are, I don't know. I mean,
Anthony Davis about to retire.
Well, yeah, but I think the youngest coach in college football last year was Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State. I think he's 34. So it's possible, or 35 maybe. So my point is it's possible that you have coaches, that are going to be coming up very soon who are playing around then. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifetime of college basketball. Be careful,
millennial.
I'm just saying it's a lifetime ago that happened. And so to hang your hat on that, and I understand the purpose of the video was more of a retrospective sort of thing to look back on the good times and, I wish someone told you we're in the good old days before you left them. But I mean, dude,
he's still an extraordinary coach. He is. He's one of the greats to ever do it. And the way that he did it most recently just doesn't work anymore. And it doesn't work specifically in Kentucky because the level at which you have to maintain at bringing in at least 3 first-round NBA types every year. There's only 30 of them. And Kentucky endeavored to bring in 3 number 1 or first-round draft picks every year. And again, there's only 30 of them in the world. And he did it for a long time. Only won 1 title, but, lots of wins, lots of conference championships, lots of second and third round outs. Unfortunately, a couple of first as well. It's time for him to go to Arkansas. It's not a bad thing for him or for Kentucky. On the other side of that, when he announced he was leaving, of course, everybody looks to see who's going to fill that spot. And we all know Kentucky ain't going to take somebody's lead assistant, somebody that's been primed and prepped to take over a directional Southern school. They ain't going to take that. They're going to take a guy who's done it, got a ring, been places and done some things that he might not want to talk about in mixed company. Primarily looking at Chicago. Did you hear what went down with the Bulls the other night?
Oh, dude.
Are you buying this?
No, I'm not. Are you?
Boy, it certainly feels right. You know, when the gig opened up, I figured it'll have to be either a current coach that's been in the Final Four for the next 3, 4, or the last 3, 4, 5 years, or a guy with a ring, or a guy with a wealth of NBA experience that has coached stars and done things. So, I mean, that kind of precludes a lot of guys. Nate Oates was the first one, but Billy Donovan, the last guy to double up, certainly seemed right.
That was so long ago. No.
But, you know, this is a hire that fits Kentucky, though. And there's a lot of colleges right now exhaling like, whoo, thank God they didn't call us. Call my guy. Because Kentucky calls, you jump.
I mean, they still could call.
Yes.
Right? Like there's no obvious answer here yet. I mean,
there's a lot of mid-range, middle of the road basketball programs that had a hell of a year over the last couple, you know, that have really kind of turned their programs around. And I bet there's 25 of those programs across the country that are sweating right now.
What would be the most entertaining for you? The most like grab your popcorn, sit back and enjoy the show.
Billy Donovan. It'd be perfect. Bring a pro coach to a pro environment.
I think you're looking at this from like a functional entertainment.
Oh, I think it'd be a hell of it. Billy Donovan ain't going to take that Kentucky crap. That big blue comes barking at him. Man, I have been through it. I saw it in Florida. I've been a pro. Keep talking. I ain't doing what you say. I got enough money. And I'll go back to the pros and I'll get hired tomorrow. That's why I'd like to see this, because much like the A&M alumni needs to be slapped back, and just like Texas alumni every now and then gets to be slapped back, like, hey, this is a professional endeavor. You guys are amateurs with a lot of money. And I think the Kentucky crowd needs to be slapped back a little bit, like, hey, you guys need to step back. You do not run the program. You're a problem. And Donovan's the guy to do it.
That's a good point. There is, and so in that sense, you kind of need somebody who can walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need somebody with some pretty thick skin and who has some accomplishments, some non-deniable accomplishments that everybody, understands that, hey, this dude knows what he's talking about. I mean, to that point, Tom Herman doesn't fit that mold, and that's how you run into those problems.
Count the number of highly talented coaches that are ready, that stepped into the vacuum that is these massive athletic departments with billions to spend and just as many alumni to deal with, and how it just ate them alive. I think of Sumlin. I think of Herman. And there's a myriad. Billy Clyde Gillespie, when he
I don't put Sumlin in that same boat, because I don't think
he got ate alive.
No, obviously he did, but I don't think no one was able to forecast what that mess would become. You know what I'm saying? Like, that first year changed everything. You know what I mean? Like, look, the job he ultimately had, in January of 2013 was not the job that he took. Truth. With everything going on. And so, like, the monster unfolded in front of him, whereas I'm saying, like, Tom Herman shook hands with the monster. It's a different thing.
All right, here we sit. The Dallas Cowboys have done absolutely nothing except foster some rumors. And here's the latest one. This might have some legs. Adam Schefter talking about a new position to be drafted, and it could stir the pot. We'll tell you what he's talking about coming up next. This is the Morning Huddle, and you guys are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Institute for Functional Health and Dr. Jacob Torr has been a good friend of mine for years now. I love getting out and about and seeing people and being able to, people to see what I look like opposed to what I tell people I look like, because I am down a lot of weight and I am in better health than I have been in quite some time. And it's all because of Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health, because those were the guys, that was the group, the great people over there that finally convinced me that I could do it. Now, the way they do it, it was going to work for me regardless. But to make it successful, you got to buy in. And that's why the Institute for Functional Health has been so successful with so many people, because the process works. And because it's put together in a ways that affects you individually. There's so much that goes into weight loss far and above just the caloric intake. It's your body. There's some things that you might be dealing with that you not know about. And Dr. Torres is great about finding that, addressing that, and then you start losing weight. But it's the help, it's the mentorship, it's the cheering, it's the chastising when you're not living up to expectations. It's all those things that has rolled in to be something that's so successful for me. I love talking about it. 8 years in, how many people talking about a weight loss program 8 years later? It's me, because it's not a weight loss program. It is now my life, and it works. And I want that for you. So if you've resolved that it is time to live a healthier and longer life, your first call should be Dr. Torres. Here's the number. It's 210-468-1891. The website is iffhealth.com. All the deets are there. Take the functional health test. It'll open your eyes. But give them a call. Dr. Torres will change your life. Call him today, and I know you'll be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live out at the Big Blind. It's like being in Vegas all over again.
Let's just hope your result is better in that tournament tonight than it was in Las Vegas. Of course, it's a Wednesday. That means Wednesdays with Wade. Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, will join us at 4:35 and will react to last night's Spurs game.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nigel, what's up with your hair?
Joe, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all Quarter Moon 14-seer AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house for only $69.99. Now is the ideal time to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joe, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743455.
Hard work, dedication, and dreams. These are the keystones of success. But easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. And getting your max refund guarantee definitely doesn't hurt. But let others think you did a lot of hard work to file your taxes when in reality, it was a walk in the park. No, you literally filed while walking your dog in the park. Winner! Because some key info is pre-filled for you, so you can file quickly and confidently like the boss that you are. So give yourself the peace of mind that comes with getting expert help, because you're going places. Let's go. And make tax season feel like it's award season with easy filing. Yeah! Know that you're backed by the leading tax preparer, TurboTax, and we'll show you all your filing options up front, so there are no surprises. Feel accomplished and confident that your taxes are done right. File an Intuit Credit Karma today. Ah, yeah. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Folks, quality is a huge deal. It's what I look for when I recommend something to my listeners. It means you can depend on it. Quality means it won't let you down. It's something you can be proud of. Well, that's the definition of a Connecticut water softener. With other water softener brands, you just never know. Maybe they work half the time or they're just plain junk. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models and will be the last water softener you'll ever own. That's because you're buying quality, and it's backed up with an outstanding 10-year warranty, too. If you're ready to enjoy all the benefits that come with quality, bring home a Connecticut water softener. Call the team at Connecticut at 656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com, and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic. Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give Hair Volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some Hair Volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. Treat it appropriately. It is sacred ground as we gather together and speak of things from last night and today.
Arkansas just announced Calipari as official.
Oh,
So
good.
There was doubt. It literally just happened.
I'm glad it happened. I guess they had to arrange for the what was it, $33 million wire transfer to the coffers of Big Blue.
And they also had to, send the 500 pallets of chicken tenders and nuggies
to you. And this is a smaller sample, but I see the wave. Buyouts are not a problem anymore. Buyouts, dead cap. I think that is becoming less and less of an issue. After Jimbo, and then you see Russell, and there's been other guys that have just been literally given millions have been paid just to go away.
I mean, money is never a problem in situations like this.
But it seems like less ever. And I think so much of it, you didn't want to be the guy that got burned in a bold move. You didn't want to be the guy to let Russell go and pay all this money and Russell lands someplace and goes to the Super Bowl. You just didn't want to be left holding the bag. And once one guy did it, and you go, you know what? We survived. And it wasn't my money. It was the owner's money that I had spent,
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, Kentucky didn't have to pay or won't have to pay Calipari's buyout.
No.
So big win for them. Every Aggie's jealous. Now, again, do this in a real way, not in the Eclipse can generate $1 billion worth of revenue way.
It did.
So in a
By the
real
way, if you need some sunglasses,
well, you're trying to hit that bill.
I got, yeah.
But what do you think the reachable financial limit of A&M's alumni is? Let's call it.
I mean,
but that's for the purposes of accruing what's necessary for what was necessary for Jimbo's.
Well, obviously they came up with I think $100 million could be found if with enough effort you could find it.
That's my point though. In a matter of, let's call it
thanks, Art.
5 hours. In a matter of 5 hours, enough phone calls and whatever can be made to pick up $100 million. It's truly not that
it
simple.
Might take a minute or two, but I think they could get it. I do. I think that if it push come to shove, we'd have to commit something, but we could do it.
I'll give them a business day. I'll stretch it that far. In a business day, they could come up with $100 million to burn,
or at least the guarantee of it at some point. Yeah, I think so.
Right. Okay. So that's follow me here. Not at all poo-pooing Texas A&M and the fine institution that it is. This is measly little Texas A&M when you have the Dallas Cowboys, an entity that is worth more than any sports franchise on earth, that cannot find the pennies relative to the overall worth to pay CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott or Micah Parsons or anyone for that matter. Eric Kendricks, the lone recipient of a check from the Cowboys. I mean, besides the players they re-signed, which were a handful of dudes. But you get my point. If A&M can move that mountain, you know what I'm saying? In that quick of a time among, for lack of a different word, civilians, right? These are people in just different careers and walks of life that can say, yeah, that could be a write-off for me. You know what I mean? I'll totally, we were going to add a pool house, but we'll just do that next year. You know what I mean? We'll be fine. So we're good. Yeah, I'm good for 20 mil on my end or whatever. Yet the Cowboys cannot do that as a corporation designed to do that. It's amazing when you think about it that way.
It certainly appears deliberate. It's not just every instance where they could have or should have paid more or less than they didn't. It seems like, no, we're not going to pay. I'm not paying anything until the letter is pink. I'm not paying it when it's yellow. I'm not paying it when the second yellow arrives. But when it's pink, I might call and say, okay. That's how it feels. It feels like, Jerry, I ain't doing a damn thing until I absolutely freaking have to, because I don't know what tomorrow holds. So a couple things. Adam Schefter tells us that the Cowboys are, what's the term? Sleeper. A sleeper, which is a random use of a term, to draft a quarterback. Why is that newsworthy?
Because we have about 2 weeks to go to the draft, and this is the dry part.
But don't they got two
I mean?
quarterbacks under contract right now? Why would they draft another one?
They have 3, but they have none under contract for next year. And so it makes complete and logical sense for the Cowboys, if they want to move on from Dak Prescott next year, to draft a quarterback. It makes absolute sense to say you want to prepare for a world that you might need a quarterback in. The problem is that wanting to live in that world is dumb in and of itself. But okay, I'll rock with you for a second here. You want to enter this dumb world. Let me put on my hazmat suit. All right. So now we're in this world in 2025 where Dak Prescott is playing elsewhere, where Trey Lance and Cooper Rush are doing who knows what for you. But you drafted somebody in 2024 because Adam Schefter told all of us last year that you were a sleeper. Okay, now we're going to go into year 2 with quarterback Rob Thompson. He's mobile. He's a dual threat. He can do it all.
Exactly.
Right? He's on year 2 of his rookie quarterback contract with you. The most precious financial commodity that you can have as an NFL franchise. The one that you didn't take any kind of advantage of last time you had that, when you had it for pennies on the dollar in Dak Prescott as a 4th-round draft pick. But hey, water under the bridge, bygones are bygones and all that jazz. All right? It's year 2. I know you thought that now would be different and you would take advantage of the financial opportunity in front of you because of the rookie quarterback contract. I hate to break it to you, the way you screwed the pooch with the Dak Prescott contract 14 different times, he's on the books for $40 million this year. So even though your actual starting quarterback is on a rookie deal for pennies on the dollar, you're still paying dollars on the dollar. In fact, you're paying C notes on the dollar to the quarterback who you couldn't get the deal done with a million different times in the past. So while it makes some logical sense to draft a quarterback in the here and now, it also completely and totally handicaps the ability to maximize on the very potential that is derived from this specific thing. It's so clouded and so complicated, and it never had to be this way.
On the other side of the chaotic off season, the Houston Texans.
Oh, okay.
So the Cowboys, quarterback in flux. We haven't even talked about Trey Lance. He's on the roster, but about to expire, 4th year, 5th year deal, all this other stuff. Houston got themselves the quarterback for now and forever, it appears, in C.J. Stroud. And guess who they had showing up to the building? Another quarterback, because they understand the league. You never know, do you? And this kid actually knows. Spencer Rattler was at OU. Remember, he was one of those much heralded guys that came out, he was ate up a little bit by the time he got to OU, but he got his comeuppance, went to South Carolina, had himself a legitimate college football career, and might very well be an NFL quarterback. I don't know. But the fact that the Houston Texans are happy to have him show up and given the opportunity would gladly draft a cat, given where they are, Stroud would hopefully never relinquish even a snap to Spencer Rattler. But there you sit. They're doing their due diligence.
The Texans should draft a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Every team should. I mean, not as seriously as most teams, obviously, but there's no reason you shouldn't draft a day 3 quarterback, because for a long time, the most successful quarterback in Houston Texans franchise history was who, Rob? For a long time.
The Houston Texans was let's see, T.J. Yates.
No, it was Matt Schaub.
Oh,
that was
that
the
guy.
answer that I was looking
Okay.
for. How did the Texans acquire Matt Schaub? It was in a trade with the Atlanta Falcons because he was Matt Ryan's backup. The Atlanta Falcons were able to benefit from having Matt Schaub on their team. You never know what you'll be able to turn the quarter. There are 32 teams in the NFL. There are not 32 people who are elite at this job.
Right.
So if you can establish a surplus at the position, you can flip one someday, some moment. You never know what the future has in store. So yeah, C.J. Stroud's the unquestioned starter. Nobody has any beef or whatever about this idea or drama, but draft Spencer Rattler, draft whoever, develop them, have another opportunity. God forbid someday you have to play this person in an emergency, whatever, at least you have somebody who you can rely on. I hate the archetype of, oh, we'll just sign, Brad Johnson to be our backup quarterback because he's been in the league for 23 years and he's, he knows the game, whatever. Like, no, when that dude enters the game for you, you're screwed because he can't do anything. So I like this idea for any team in general, and I'm really enjoying what the Texans are doing this offseason.
I'm curious, and this is, we've got to go to break, and this might be something to ponder and talk about on the other side. You talked about Brad Johnson. There used to be a couple of dudes that showed up everywhere. Fitz was everywhere. You needed a backup and possible.
Yeah.
Well, who is the modern Fitz? Is it Jameis Winston? Who's the modern Fitz now? Who's the quarterback that could bounce? And
let's answer this when we come back.
I want you to consider who the modern Fitz magic is. If the Cowboys ain't going to draft, they're going to lose one. Maybe there's that guy floating around. We're going to look at that and make our Masters pick and look at the NBA standings and try to figure out how an NBA game played. We're talking about 60 minutes of fun, and there were 2 free throws taken, and one team didn't take any. How the hell does that happen? We're talking about all as we wrap, ready to break right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Living in pain is no fun, and the older you get, the more things paining you. Ask Tiger Woods. I'll tell you what, the best thing ever happened to me was finding Arosty, because if you're living in pain, there's no better place to go than Arosty, because they know how to get you out of pain and get you out of pain fast. And what I love about them is how they do it, because it has nothing to do with surgery, and they're not going to be prescribing you something to put you to sleep and dull the pain. They're going to fix the problem. You get a full evaluation, and they're going to find out what's causing the pain, and then they're going to fix it. And when you do it that way, it's amazing how quickly you get back in the game. On average, under 4 visits for most of the Arosty patients got them back to doing the things that they love. So what are you waiting on? It's easy to go. You don't even need a referral. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website is Arosty.com. They got a map on the website of all the providers, the new ones too. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are now. Listen, you don't have to live with pain. Don't let it keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arosty today. They're going to get you fixed, and when they do, I want you to thank me later.
It's the 2024 NFL Draft on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're the 24th pick. The Dallas Cowboys select
April 25th, 26th, and 27th. Join 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star for this year's NFL Draft. Live from Detroit.
I love the tenacity and the aggression with which he plays. He is a mauler.
Who do the Cowboys and Texans pick? Does Jerry make a splash? Who goes number 1? And who's the next Mr. Irrelevant?
the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud.
We don't ever want to pass on the guy you ought to be taking there, but still be position
I
select.
thought Sauce Gardner would be the first corner, but you go back to 2019, and that version of Derek Stingley is as good as anybody in this entire draft class.
Find out right here on your exclusive home for the NFL Draft. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome this Sunday as they take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let's pack the dome and join the herd in the best seats at the best prices, now starting at $15.50. Led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips and quarterback Chase Garbers. Experience the excitement. Head to theUFL.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. It's the Brahmas versus the Battlehawks Sunday. Kickoff in the Dome is at 2. Get your tickets now at theUFL.com. Vamos Brahmas!
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I like to be active, and as you get older, I know it because I am older. You're more prone to injury, and I could not get rid of the pain.
QC Kinetics patient Diane Richardson talking about how a hiking injury left her in awful pain.
No one wants to live in pain. I certainly don't want to live in pain. I don't have time for pain.
Diane had heard about regenerative medicine, so she called QC Kinetics and started treatment right away. And the results were incredible.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using natural biologics, healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. There's no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime.
The result was phenomenal. I mean, I was not feeling any pain. I'm able to do everything that I want to do.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, this may be the solution you're looking for. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
It was a game changer.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're riding with Rob and RJ. This is the Morning Huddle.
It is indeed the Morning Huddle. We're about to break it off and head into the game day. Before we do, I want to give away some tickets. Alamo Heights night is just a week and 2 days away, the 19th. So you know what it is, down there at the UIW. Beautiful campus, beautiful night as we begin Fiesta the right way at Heights night, one of the best and one of my favorites. I've got a couple of tickets to go. You want to be one of them? Get on your device, 656-3776. Dial that very quickly. And caller number 5 will go see Finding Friday and Hotcakes and Mike Alanis, the Regimes, and all that the Heights night has to offer. Just take when we had young kids, get the stroller, head down to the park, be in Fiesta, and one of the better family. Well, they're all family friendly, but this is a good one. Caller number 5.
Caller number 5.
Who's the new Fitz? Who's the new dude that you go get to? I thought it might become Baker Mayfield, but he got paid.
I have a few nominees.
Oh, let's hear it.
So you threw out Jameis Winston, and I think that's a good one. All right. Jameis, now a member of the Cleveland Browns, but he's almost
a Brown?
Good. Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. And if you're just joining us, we posed the question: if the Cowboys weren't going to draft a quarterback and Lance ain't there, and you're going to have to get off the used market to go get your used tires, see what treads left. What's the Fitz magic? What's the guy that's left that guy can show up, win you 4 or 5 games? Now it'll eventually fall apart, but for a brief shining moment, you get one. Is there anybody like that left?
So you threw out Jameis off the top of your head. He's a Brown now, but he's almost a little too good and too influential. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of the more dynamic people in the locker room. And all due respect to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was a wonderful interview when I spoke to him last year.
Whose job did Jameis take as backup?
It was
part-time starter.
Well, you're saying now or originally?
Who was the backup in Cleveland last year? Who played all those minutes without?
Well, the primary one was Joe Flacco. He was the big
before
story.
Flacco.
Before Flacco, I mean,
maybe it's Flacco.
No, Joe Flacco's in Indianapolis now.
But what I'm saying, maybe it's Flacco who is now the heir apparent to go get him.
No, because Flacco won a Super Bowl and it was an undisputed franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like he reached heights that Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't.
But I'm just talking about the guy now that I could go pluck out someplace.
No,
but Flacco's already gone.
I'm trying to apples and apples.
Oh, like who's available right this moment that we could go find?
No. I'm trying to say who fits the most like Fitzpatrick-y profile. That's what I'm saying. Like Flacco's original path in the NFL was a little bit.
I got you. Now I follow you. Never really a starter, but always a helper.
Right. That's what Fitzpatrick was.
Okay.
And even Jameis, I mean, Jameis was a teammate of Fitzpatrick's, by the way. I mean, and whatever. And Fitzpatrick had to play when Jameis was suspended back with the Bucs.
And played better.
And that was the chains game when he wore Deshaun Jackson's chains, and he had like the wide open jacket and everything, or shirt, whatever it was. Even Jameis, I think, reached heights in popularity that Fitzpatrick never did. So I don't know that Jameis totally fits for me, but I was thinking about this. I thought of Gardner Minshew, undrafted free
that's
agent.
a good one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of the modern day fits in that, became a starter somewhat surprisingly.
Ask the Cowboys.
Has now bounced around. Has a funny kind of persona to him, the way Fitzpatrick did. So Gardner Minshew's one. I have 3 nominees, and you can pick one. So maybe that one's
It's going to be hard to surpass that one. Next.
Number 2. I recognize this is weird. Carson Wentz. All right, Carson Wentz had the obviously highly touted. The Eagles traded up to draft him. That was 8 years ago now.
He's the MVP.
And had the amazing 2017 run before he tore his ACL. Got Cyranoed by Nick Foles. But ever since, it's just kind of bound. Think about the number of teams Carson Wentz has been on since 2000.
He doesn't. He didn't pass.
Hear me out. Since 2021, he was on the Colts. 2022, he was on the Commanders. In fact, he was the first Commanders quarterback.
But he didn't do anything
in the rebrand. I'm just saying. You're asking who's the guy.
But Fitz, everywhere he's been, has done something. I mean,
then he was on the Rams, and he started a game for the Rams. Now he's on the Chiefs. Like, he's just kind of bouncing. He's like the Tigger of the NFL. So I'm kind of, Carson Wentz is one of my nominees, but it sounds like he doesn't beat Gardner Minshew.
No, not so far.
Okay, then my other nominee, and this one's weird. Okay, I recognize that this one's weird, but kind of fits Fitzpatrick in my mind, at least recently. Andy Dalton.
Not electric enough, not interesting enough, but yeah, he did it. He's done it. He did the Fitz
wasn't
thing.
Interesting. Fitzpatrick wasn't interesting. Like, the fact that he wasn't interesting became his interesting quality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, oh, he went to Harvard. That's all I know about it.
The
you know what I mean? Like,
glorious beard.
That was all anybody ever knew about Fitz. Again, then his beard became his thing. Andy Dalton has the fiery red hair. So Andy Dalton played for the Bengals for 9 years. Okay, in the years since then, since 2020, he has been on a new team every year, except for this year, obviously. All right, 2020, played for the Cowboys, started the games, was somebody who they had to depend on and turn to, the way Fitzpatrick's teams did. Okay, 2021, the Chicago Bears. And obviously in the middle of the Justin Fields stuff at the beginning when he was a rookie, blah, blah, but they depended on him early on. Matt Nagy did, and it was a big old controversy. Okay, 2022, the New Orleans Saints. They depended on him, kind of with Jameis as well. Taysom Hill, it was like, who's going to be the actual quarterback for this team? Last year, more of the veteran backup role with the Carolina Panthers, helping Bryce Young out. So now he's like fully backup. He's the Homer Simpson meme, like, like moving into the hedges or whatever. And he's emerged as a full-time backup, obviously behind Bryce Young.
Who is the quarterback, no matter where he is? Josh Dobbs, that could be one, Gary. I appreciate that. Wherever he's been, they draft a quarterback number 1. He's kind of bounced around to 2 or 3 different teams and is a legitimate starter, but I think he was there when Baker was drafted in Cleveland. Who was the quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor.
No, it's not him.
But Tyrod Taylor's kind of that guy too.
Could be,
he's
but
bounced around.
But maybe it is Tyrod Taylor. But I would also put it to you that Geno Smith's highest and best calling is that.
Well, Geno's only had one other home outside of the Jets.
But I can see where he's coming.
Actually, no. He played for the Chargers and then the Giants and then the Seahawks.
And he gets the Seahawks gig, but his highest and best calling is really coming off the bench for about a 5 or 6 game run.
I think what we're looking for here is like a 6th man of the year among NFL quarterbacks.
Yes, and I think, that's probably the name at the Fitz Magic Award. But yes, that's the guy we're looking for.
As we've kind of parsed through it, I think the answer is probably Gardner Minshew, and because he also fits the profile and the like fun. People look to him. He's eclectic. Blah blah blah. So
I want my backup quarterback to be a little bit of an outlaw. Just a little crazy. The reason you're on the bench is just can't trust you. You're too much of a lone wolf, McQuaid.
I mean, congrats to Gardner Minshew. I don't know where we were
going.
All right, dubbing you this.
We are just we're about 20 hours. Well, a little less than that.
27 million hours for John Calipari, by the way, in Arkansas.
I heard it wasn't going to be much, but lots of incentives. But $7 million, and that's not bad money. 22 hours from now, we will be watching the Masters with rapt attention. Who's going to win this thing?
Well, less than 22 hours because Masters.com, offers.
Is there a countdown? What are we at?
Oh, I think the first tee time's like at 8:45 Eastern, something like that, maybe like 8:47. So we're about now
22 hours. It's 9:46.
Oh, my bad. I did the math improperly. That's my bad. I apologize. I was wrong, Rob. You were right. I'm dumb. You're smart. I'm ugly. You're handsome.
That's all true.
All right. I have to pick the winner.
Who do you like?
So
who's going to be playing the final threesome?
I thought about this long and hard because I set up a Masters pool. Had some family and friends get involved. I sent it to you all. That's the text we were talking about earlier. If you want to submit an entry, you have until the end of today. But when I was doing my picks, the Masters is an emotional thing. It's something that we're all kind of connected to and tied to. And my brain says to pick Scotty Scheffler or Brooks Koepka even.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an event and a thing and a spirit almost that I want to pick with my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like there aren't a lot of sports things that I allow my heart to be the overpowering force and to be the thing that wins out. But so here at a magical place, at a magical venue, in a magical tournament, in a magical kind of environment and circumstance, I want to see the magical thing. I want to see the thing that I love, the thing that is the most sportsy, that fills my sports heart. And my pick is what I want to see happen, but also what I think is going to conceivably happen. Congratulations on accomplishing the career Grand Slam, Rory McIlroy, fellow supporter of Manchester United, just like me.
A worthy route. I wouldn't have pulled that one, but yeah, I would like to see him be successful. At least be in the last couple of pairs going down on Sunday. Xander Schauffele, baby.
You're gonna go with Xander?
I'm gonna go with Xander. He's close a couple times. He's not the obvious one, but he's right in there. I feel like if that's the way we're gonna go, though, that's not what I'm rooting for.
What are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for an established name. I wouldn't mind a repeat. I'd like to see the PGA guys.
You don't mean an actual repeat. You just mean a current winner.
A current winner get another jacket. Somebody I've seen, somebody I know. I don't need a fresh story who's hot today. I want the PGA to show up in force and some of the lead PGA dudes to do PGA things. To show why we pay attention to the PGA and not the LIV. That the great ones, the good ones, they show up and they grind and they work and they earn it. It's not the hot golfer this week. That I want that. And if that involves, maybe Justin waking up. Is Bubba there? Are we going to have a Bubba sighting?
Bubba's there, but Justin's never won this event.
Well,
he is a PGA Tour mainstay. Yeah, Jordan could win. I mean, Jordan's kind of a horse for this course. I'm with you. I certainly want to see something like that. And that's Rory isn't a previous Masters champion, obviously.
But he's a worthy route because he needs to be.
I think you could put Justin Thomas in that category.
Yes.
As well.
Is he bringing his wife?
I really don't know. But I like seeing people get rings or whatever that deserve them. Like I'm happy that Aaron Donald won a Super Bowl throughout his career. Jalen Ramsey, these are really talented players that deserve to, taste football's ultimate prize. And similarly, Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy are golfers who deserve to win the Masters based on career accomplishments. But if I can't get one of those, if I can't get Rory, I think the thing I want to see the most is Brooks. There's just something cool to his game and how he shows up in these bright moments and these big moments, and he always delivers. And I like that. I like that one of the most predictable things is that Brooks Koepka is going to be elite when the moment calls for you to be elite. There are very, very few athletes who do that. And so that's an honorable mention for me.
I just wish he wasn't I don't know. He's just not my favorite dude. I don't know why. He really hasn't done anything to I think it's just the crowd he keeps or the crowd that he doesn't get along. I don't know. But he is not the guy I'm ever going to root for to win a Masters. I'll celebrate him because I know how good he is, but he's not that. So for my my pick, I like Xander Schauffele. For the winner, if I could pick whoever, I'm going to go. It's easy to say Jordan, but somebody akin to that. Somebody I know that's put on a jacket, that's represented well, that will reestablish and prove yet again that everybody should be in the PGA and earning it on a regular basis than getting paid to play.
It goes without saying, by the way, that a Tiger win trumps all.
Oh, that goes without.
Yeah, like if we can, if like we're allowed to really dream and really deem the impossible, it's Tiger winning. At the very least, it's Tiger being in contention.
Just
I don't think people remember this as vividly as it needs to be. And CBS is supposed to debut a Tiger, like a little miniature documentary on the 2019 Masters this Sunday. But he mentioned in the clip we played the weather this week. Obviously, we're still kind of from a weather standpoint getting into the springtime. And so every now and then you end up with cool weather or, rain or whatever the case may be in Augusta and around that part of the country. Well, that year in 2019, there was a huge thunderstorm coming Sunday afternoon. And so the Masters that year bumped all the tee times up to the morning to get everything done in time for it. And in an effort to speed up play. So for anyone who's unaware, the Thursday and Friday rounds of the Masters are threesomes. You have 3 players in your group, and that gets whittled down to just pairs, obviously, for the weekend. But for that Sunday, they went to threesomes in order to get everybody out faster. And it was that adjustment that put Tiger in the final group. If not for that adjustment, he would have been in the penultimate pairing. And we talked about this with Dr. Garrett. One of the things that it was just this like chaos of circumstance that led to Tiger winning. Everybody around him in contention went into the water on 12, except for him. And talked about this for years. Playing with Tiger brings this different kind of pressure and expectation, and therefore you make mistakes or whatever because it's Tiger. You're competing against Tiger Woods to win the Masters on Sunday. And so if not for Tiger being in the final group and chasing everybody down that way, I don't know that everything unfolds the same way. I mean, that's sports, right? That's what we love about all of this. And so, I mean, the circumstance lining up the weather and the pairings and the adjustment and that it led to Tiger being in the final group. I mean, it's just the magic of the moment. Tiger could win the Masters this week, and I have a very difficult time, conceiving of a way in which it would be more dramatic than that, if that makes sense.
Not at all. The par 3 getting off the ground here just a couple of hours from now. We'll have all your updates tomorrow as the Masters begins in earnest. Tiger going off a little after noon, our time tomorrow. As we head into the day, the news broke just a couple minutes ago, let you know that the NFL has told us who's playing September the 5th in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It'll be 2 teams that like green, the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I wonder if Jerry was asked, who'd you like to send down to South America? Can he send the Eagles?
Well, the tough thing for the Eagles is they give up a home game.
Yeah.
They give up a home gate. And so
and Packers, can we send the Eagles and the Packers down to Sao where? Yeah, send them down there.
It works out for them, though, whoever they're playing against in week 2, because that game's on Friday. So they have a little bit of an advantage from a rest standpoint on their week 2 opponents. And the Cowboys have played the Eagles in week 2 several times in recent history. So
I would much prefer to take on a team fresh off a flight from Sao Paulo than a flight from Vegas or New Orleans or Miami, any other fun place. That seems to, if I was an NFC East team, I would be upset that I was being sent down there. I got enough problems.
Well, I hope you have enough solutions.
We are just about out of time. You have 1 minute, RJ, to lay on us some knowledge, the likes of which that will carry us some 20 hours or so. Anything to lay on us before we leave?
I just want to say that I'm putting together the final plans for what I'm going to make this weekend. I'm going to smoke a pulled pork. I am extremely excited because it's going to bring me great joy. So I hope whoever you are, wherever you are, however you are, I hope that what you have in line between now and over the course of the next 20 hours provides and brings you immense joy. I hope it brings you maximum joy. I hope it brings you the ultimate level of joy achievable and possible by a human being.
Lots of flowery words, though no knowledge. I do appreciate it, though. He is RJ Ochoa.
Find joy.
It is define that joy. And if you want joy, go check out Blogging the Boys. That's what he edits, and it's worthy of your time. I'm Rob Thompson. Hey, I'm headed out to Top Golf, the Better Business Bureau Top Golf Challenge. Going to be fun today. We'll see y'all out there. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.
This